We'll just giggle.
You can still hear the typing though.
I'm not typing. Oh, Johnny's typing. Dude, whatever you want to do, just start it. It's all good.
Hang on, I'm sharing the video.
Breaking news.
There we go.
Wow. We got a big-time production now all of a sudden.
It's like professional.
Well, you know, stuck in the house. You know, I got nothing but time.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, that's original music, so I can't get busted for playing that.
Good. I have my bootleg T-shirt on today. You'll see the Haunted Hamburgers.
Hey, I got my bootleg T-shirt on too.
Yeah, Haunted hamburgers. Haunted Hamburgers, yes. And on the back,
nice.
And on the back it says, "And the burgers will rock."
I didn't even notice that it was a HH.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. And let's say yours, John.
And the burgers will rock.
Real quick, what's that one?
Poof. This is the
that looks familiar.
Anthony autographed poof.
Look at that.
My creation.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, welcome everybody. It's Straturday night. It's 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
And we are social distancing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're you're over there.
I'm down
over here. Yeah, we're far enough away.
Yeah.
My dogs are not social distancing. My dogs are, but the good news is you can't get it from the dogs. So
that's good.
Yeah, as soon as we go live, the dogs just go at it.
Right. Wasn't it amazing? Everything was fine like 5 minutes ago, right? They were just gone. All of a sudden they're like, oh, the dogs are camera hogs is what they are.
They sense every little thing every nuance that you're giving off, you know, like every vibe that you're giving off. I think they can sense it. So they're like,
yeah. The fun part is this is the first day in about 4 or 5 days that they haven't been painting my rugs. So coronavirus is the least of my concerns.
Are they do you think the dogs sense something?
No, I think that it's just springtime and rain, and it's something called Giardia, which is basically a bacteria that they get.
Waterborne.
You know,
it's like a waterborne bacteria.
Yeah. So if they drink rainwater or stagnant water, like it might be like a puddle of some sort, they get LA for a couple of days.
Man, well, hey, welcome everybody. Neanderthal. John BL. Sorry, John. I know this is
Johnny B.
This is your show. I'm introducing you.
It's your network. So
here's the funny part: is Johnny Beane every week says he starts the show and sort of starts it off as himself, and then goes, "But it's John BL's show."
That's right.
And it doesn't say a word for the next 3.5 hours.
It's a courtesy. I think it's a courtesy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's stuff that I have to say, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say them.
That's why I pay Johnny to say it. So,
Yes.
Yeah, he's your opening act.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and say really quickly that this is also a podcast. You can listen to this on Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, and you're watching this on either YouTube or Facebook. So leave a thumbs up, leave a like. Share the video, subscribe, like the page, Johnny Beane TV. What else?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's here?
Good night, everybody.
Who's at the chat? We got 63 people
probably
watching.
A lot of bored people. A lot of people who are just looking for something to do and
captive audience
for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're here to entertain you for the next
couple of
months.
Hours. God knows how long. I mean, yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
I basically stay around until the dogs start to act up at midnight, which is like they're on like a clock now.
Mm-hmm.
They have figured it out. At midnight, they start acting like idiots, and I usually go, "Okay, everybody, I'm gonna go," and I guarantee you that'll happen again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do that.
Yeah.
Then again, at 2:00 and 2:30 in the morning, they do it too.
Yeah, well, they have schedules.
Well, yeah, they're biologically sort of wired to they're creatures of habit, so they know what time it is for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
and screw up my night's sleep constantly.
Yeah, they're intuitive. They know things that we don't. You know, they can sense things that we don't.
Yeah.
Or instinctive, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you guys holding up? Looks like everyone's healthy tonight. Good to see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, for the past couple weeks, I was having like breathing issues, which I'm not feeling it. I feel fine now. I think it's allergies is what I've been having.
Yeah.
Past
Same
weeks.
here. Just a scratchy throat a little bit, and nothing that. No, I'm not ill in any way. It's just allergies and that kind of stuff.
I have been dealing with a severe groin pull since Monday.
Oh, thank you.
And
Ouch.
well, no, here's the reason. So I get to work on Monday, and I did the first part of the week of the show by myself, and I was getting toward like 30 seconds before the first break, and I realized I didn't have my headphones. They were in my office. So I go to run to my office. I'm like, oh shit, I'm almost out of time. And as I go running to my office, I pull a groin. and I'm like, oh, and it was like I felt it pop. And I was like, oh.
On the day that you're going solo too.
And I thought it was appendicitis because it was that kind of stabbing pain. I thought it was appendicitis first. Then I realized appendicitis starts here and sort of, radiates. And then I thought I might have had a hernia. So I do the whole, I'm like, are my guts falling out? Nope, guts aren't. You ever do that? You're like, all right. Nope, it's a groin pull. It's just a groin pull. Like when a groin pull is the most preferable response to that. So then, like Wednesday, we start getting rain here in Arizona, which is something we don't get very often. We get it about 30 days a year, literally. And all of a sudden, my right Achilles tendon blows up like a balloon. Like I get tendonitis in so I've got a groin pull and tendonitis. It was like somebody just take me out and shoot me. So finally, today I feel better. But thank you for asking.
I had a groin pull years ago.
Oh, it's the worst.
I got it from riding a bike that was too big for me.
Right.
Because I used to ride a bike everywhere, and all of a sudden
he was that guy.
I felt this pain, and it wouldn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
And you don't know where it is. It starts down like outside of your crotch, like on the inside like of your thigh, inside your crotch. But then it goes all the way up, and it feels like somebody is slicing you from like your rib down.
It goes up, yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, this is the worst.
Oh, it's horrible because the pain does not stop.
No, you lay down on the bed, and like every time you try to turn over, you gotta like basically lift your leg and pull it over, because if you try to do it otherwise, you're like, ah!
Yeah, you have to do stretches.
Oh man.
You gotta do different stretching exercises.
No, you can't do any stretching exercises when it's actually hurt. You gotta wait until it starts to heal, and then ouch.
Yeah.
But no, it's been the worst. So yeah. I used to be a very finely tuned athlete. Now I'm lucky if I'm an athletic supporter. It's horrible. I hurt myself basically taking a step toward my office.
I hurt myself sleeping. I mean, that's the worst when you hurt yourself sleeping.
Yeah. So that's when you hurt yourself doing an involuntary activity. Exactly. Like if you sneeze and you're like, oh Jesus, what did I do? You sneeze and you like separate a rib sneezing.
You're sleepwalking and you run into.
That's what it's like, man. Getting old. It's like you're eating an ice cream or something, and then you're just like in pain for 10 minutes because you had a toothache or something.
Yeah, Mancuda in the house, by the way. In the chat,
he shows up as soon as we say groin a couple times.
Yeah, as soon as you hear groin, it's like Beetlejuice. You say groin 3 times, Mancuda appears.
That's how it works.
Groin, poof.
Wow.
Who else is in the house? Paul, tell us who's in the house tonight.
Oh wow, I get to do the.
Oh yeah,
this will be fun. I see Metal Soda. This is like what is that? What is that show? Remember, was it Captain Kangaroo when they grabbed the little thing, or Newser Review?
That's
What was that? Romper Room. Yeah. I see Fender Guru and Metal Soda and Brent Rossum and Jimmy Biter and Fruitcake Tony and John Mancuda, the amazing Drop, Steve Carmichael. Hello, Steve Carmichael. Hope
Steve
everything is well
Carmichael.
with you. Yeah. Dan Halen, Brent Rossum, Mickey Settlemile, Hugh Caldwell, Chuck Booth, Renus Pinkel, Janice Lala. Did I get everybody? I think Zach Thong. I think I got Zach Thong in there. Mickey Settlemire. And I think Dwight Bailey, Robin Sellers, who's a friend of mine on Facebook. So it's nice to see Rick Hefner.
Well,
Damp
Robin.
Taco Lover. That's always a nice
Robin Sellers.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? Bent Rosum.
So I think I got everybody. Clayton James Hicks, 1998.
Fear my 3-inch.
Ooh. So
Yours?
I think I got everybody.
I think that's Mancuda's alternate.
Was Mancuda under two different names now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there's a fake Mancuda too. So,
Oh,
although that's the real one because he's got the.
that's how you know you've made it when you've got a fake, when somebody's faking you. Congratulations, you're a star, John.
Man, I ran
Johnny,
into
Johnny's got some fake ones out. Somebody keeps fake on Facebook. I don't think it's him.
fake.
Jay Brooks in the house. Jay
Yeah.
and I used to work together in Sacramento. Good friend, good kid.
Hey, welcome, man. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, man.
So, how about concert news and how's sports teams doing? Sports.
Yay, sports! They have an Arizona Bike Week, which is obviously motorcycle rally and a week's worth of concerts. They had put out a thing on Monday or Tuesday that was like a press release about how badass they are. You know what I mean? Arizona Bike Week. We're freedom riders. We're too tough. We're not canceling anything. So screw you. Bike Week is still on. What do you mean they pulled our permits? We're done. The city, they're like, yeah, we've made the choice to ride motorcycles because it's freedom, man, and you can't take our freedom. You can take our permits, so we're not doing it. they were like, badass. What? Skinner canceled. Damn. I was like, how are you guys going to do your bike week with no freaking bands?
Yeah, I mean they can try. Jeez.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do it. They got
without any bars open or without any,
Yeah, no, they got their permits pulled, but they were like, we're at Bike Week. We've always been concerned about the hygiene of our. Have you? Because I've been to Bike Week.
That's right. Yeah, they have that up here in New Hampshire. They have the Bike Week too.
Oh, sure they do. Yeah, in Laconia.
I used to work in Laconia during Bike Week, and completely separate. When I worked for Dish Network, our office was in Laconia, or just south of Laconia, and it was just like mass people just coming in. Not only Massachusetts people, but when it would just be thousands of people from all over New England, New York. Massive masses of people.
Yeah, we used to broadcast up there when I was at WAAF. We would ride up and broadcast in the Broken Spoke right there on the edge
concerts.
of
There was always concerts and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Meadowbrook was the place where they would have the up north the concerts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Oh, and I was looking at concert history as this is the time that most concert tours begin in like March. They've had their kind of winter break and everything. So, and they get their summer tours started in March. So I'll go through a few of the past highlights.
Yeah, that's what's going on like ESPN and all these sports channels are
It's
showing
all the past
classic
stuff, yeah.
games. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Man. Yeah. Today is Straturday.
It is Straturday. I don't have a Strat out today though. I actually broke out my first Les Paul, which is an Epiphone, my first real Les Paul as opposed to all the copies I have. And I was like, and I bought this thing in like 1997 when I was living in Memphis.
It's a real Les Paul, but it's an Epiphone.
Yeah, all Les Pauls are Epiphones or Les Pauls. If they got the name on the signature on the headstock, that's a Les Paul.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah. So they've been licensed to make them since like 1989. So
yeah.
But this is like I've had this thing since like 1997, and I rarely play it because I've got Gibsons and stuff laying around the house. And I took it out and I was like, wow, this guitar for $497 in 1997 was worth every penny because it plays great. It's a great little Les Paul.
It looks great.
Yeah, no, it's great. It was made by World Music before they were World Music. The company was called Leader Musical Instrument Company in Incheon, South Korea, which eventually became WMIC, which makes all of the Korean guitars for all of ESP and all these other companies. That was back before Gibson had their own
Right.
Chinese
I was going to
flag.
say, so does Epiphone, did they do any American-made stuff? I mean, they did. I know in the early days they did.
Yeah, they still make some American stuff in their, I don't know what they call it, the Elitist series or something like that. But it's rare. It's they're made in Nashville under the
because there
Epiphone
are some classic Epiphones, the Casino.
Yeah.
And
the,
it just
the Master Built series, I think
some of their acoustics were classic. Like just as. I mean, and I think what was it? Epiphone was before Gibson, wasn't it, or was it Gibson then Epiphone? I don't remember.
Well, Epiphone was around before Gibson,
That's
and
what
then
I thought, yeah,
the House of Epi dropped. He was taking towels out now. The House of Epi, Epi Stathopolo, I think was his name. They were started before Gibson, and then what happened is in 1957, Epiphone started to go through some hard financial times. So Gibson thought they were buying, I think, like the factory or something like that. It turns out they ended up buying the whole brand. And ended up, that's how the Gibson Deluxe happened. The Gibson Les Paul Deluxe happened because the mini humbuckers were Epiphones. They were for Epiphone guitars. And they had all these extra mini humbuckers lying around. So they decided to build a Les Paul Deluxe with the mini humbuckers in them. So that's why the Les Paul Deluxe exists, not because they wanted to make that guitar. It was because they had all these leftover mini humbuckers from Epiphone guitars.
So for a time, they were being made in the same factories, Epiphones and Gibsons. Is that?
Yes. Yeah. They were both, because they were the two premier American guitar manufacturers at the time. Big competitors. Epi went through some financial times. Gibson bought them up, and thought they were just. I think they just thought. I forget what they were buying their bass factory or something like that. It turned out they thought they were buying part of the company or something from the company, and they got everything.
Like the electronics or something, the electronics part or something. Yeah, and
then they get everything. So Les Paul, his first Les Paul, the log, is actually an Epiphone hollow body that was cut off. And he put the center log. The log is in the middle, so he built that in the Epiphone factory, and then took it over to Leo Fender, and Leo Fender said, "That's stupid. Nobody will buy a solid body guitar."
Right. And then, I remember the story because here I am looking at the book, and I'll find the picture of the log in a second.
I was looking to see if they have a picture of it on the page here.
What, the log?
The log, yeah.
Yeah, the log. That's an Epiphone. It was built in the Epiphone factory.
I don't know if you can see that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the headstock is that. I think it's a Gibson headstock at this point.
Yeah, the neck. The neck through. But it was built in the Epiphone factory, and he brought the idea to Epiphone, and they said no. And he brought the idea over to show his buddy Leo, and Leo had already built the broadcaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was what year?
Well, the broadcaster was 48. The Les Paul debuted in 52, so it's going to be somewhere in that range, 48, 49, 50.
Yeah, where's Dave?
But they started making Epiphone Les Pauls in 1988, 89, and they were made by Samick at the time.
I remember Samick, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had an Epiphone SG for a short time, and it was a low end mod. I mean, because I think even Epiphone has couple different price levels. It was a bolt-on. The one I had was a bolt-on neck, painted bright, cherry red, and it looked like an SG. It looked like an SG, but it was certainly the low end kind.
Yeah, they still have those. They still have the bolt-on. They call it the 100 series, like LP 100 for the Les Paul or the SG 100, and then they go to the solid body studios and then upward from there. Epiphone's making a damn good guitar these days, and the upper end Epiphones have Gibson pickups in them now. So essentially, you have your choice of buying an upper end Epiphone with Gibson pickups in it, or you can buy a low end Gibson that doesn't have any of the flash or the finish for those people that are cork sniffers that insist that they have to have their guitars made in the United States.
Here's my low end Gibson.
No, I mean there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that doesn't have any of the gloss on it or any of the binding.
But I mean that's a good thing to look at if you're looking for a budget guitar. It's go for the dot inlays, go for the
tribute series,
the whatever it is, not the Gibson. Well, it's got everything. I mean, this has
No, it's
a lot of
Gibson.
good stuff. It's not the best pickups of the standard stock pickups and that kind of stuff. But
No, that's got P90s in it. That's got P90s in it.
not.
I think.
this
Oh,
is-
those are humbuckers.
Yeah, this is an 05.
Those
So
are
that's probably
humbuckers,
got
yeah.
Special. I don't think the special has the.
Maybe 490, 498
P90s.
uncovered. And the only difference between that and the regular SG is it doesn't have the bound neck, it doesn't have the trapezoid inlays, and it doesn't have the
Right,
gloss nitrocellulose finish.
accoutrements. You know,
Same exact guitar.
That's the thing, yeah. I mean, it's right on the line with all the ones until a certain point where it breaks off and it gets these special, it gets these pickups instead, and it gets this bridge and that kind of thing.
You've heard me say this before. I guarantee if you take an Epiphone Les Paul with decent pickups in it, and that's really all you have to do is swap out the electronics. The only difference is nitrocellulose versus polyurethane finish. Obviously, the guitar doesn't have as much resonance, but you can adjust that with the pickups and your amp settings. But I guarantee you, if somebody were to play a guitar solo, an AB, something played on a Les Paul Custom, Gibson Les Paul Custom, or an Epiphone Les Paul Standard, you couldn't tell me the difference between the two guitars. With
You're
your
probably
ears.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can if you AB them next to each other here in the studio, because the Epiphone, because it doesn't have the nitrocellulose finish, it's going to be a little muddier.
If you play them acoustically,
Yes.
you can tell.
Yeah, because it's just there's not much resonance. That polyurethane finish on an Epiphone is this thick.
Yeah. But even that difference is so small that you're right. Most people can't hear
Yeah.
it.
And tonally, once you've put it to tape or laid it to tape, and EQ'd everything and stuff like that, Les Paul sounds like a Les Paul, Strat sounds like a Strat. I love
think-
the people that think they can tell the difference between a Mexican and an American Strat. No, you can't.
They're all mahogany too. I think the higher end Epiphones are mahogany and full, and with the glue on neck and all that.
Yes, yeah, they're mahogany. It's just not it's not a great cut of mahogany. It's not.
Well, same with this too. I mean, the lower, like you were saying, the lower end Gibsons. This isn't a custom shop or anything, so it's the straight mahogany that comes off the line.
And it's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any, guitar is a guitar is a guitar, as long as it's well built. And at that, once you get to the level of a company like Epiphone or Fender or even some of the Quartz and Samix and some of the older budget guitars, like those Aria Pro 2s and stuff like that, those old ones, those are well-made guitars.
Sure. The Hondos, we were talking about that.
Yeah, we're joking about Hondos, yeah.
A lot of Japanese-made guitars are great.
Well, now they're becoming preferable.
Even those older ones are good.
The older ones that people used to dump on, like I said, Aria Pro 2s and Hondo or whatever other.
Because at the time they were competing. Look at what they were competing with, like the Super Strats and that kind of stuff.
Right
in the late '80s. Put a San Dimas next to a Hondo, and my God, it's. But again, you change out the pickups. I mean, and it's a lot of the same kind of stuff on the. I mean, I think most San Dimases were bolt-on necks, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that the advent of CNC machines and automated guitar manufacturing has become a huge equalizer. And as long as you've got a good company, like I said, this one here, and here's how you can tell it's a World Music, is the way the stamp is on the headstock. The stamp of the serial number, you can't really read it because it's tough to my camera won't adjust to it. But that serial number that you can't see,
Sorry,
that was rubbed off.
Yeah, no, it's not rubbed off. Yeah, you can tell that World Music has an imprint. The way that they imprint, the font and the imprint of their serial numbers is universal, depending on no matter what guitar company you're dealing with. So if it's a PRS or it's a Deane or it's a Hamer or whatever company that they're dealing with, the serial number is universal. And even now, the serial number stamp is universal. And on the bottom, they actually have a phrase that says "Made in South Korea by World Music Instruments." So they're even getting their name on the back of the headstock of the company that they're manufacturing guitars for.
Johnny, fix that.
Oh, you don't like that one?
No, it's right next to me. Let's do it. Does the like point to me or the like point's up, obviously.
It's too big. I usually just have that one.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, by the way, that white Les Paul Epiphone that was on the screen, that's like what I have.
Oh, you have one of those?
I have one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a great guitar. You change the pickups, you change the electronics, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Right.
We when we this band I was in, we had a deal with Gibson. Actually, we had a deal with Fender and Gibson at the same time. It was
What are you, big
non-exclusive.
timing us?
It was non-exclusive, and so I was using Fender amps that I got from Fender, and then I would use the Epiphone when we played South by Southwest, and then we did a tour where Gibson gave us 335, a USA, and I was playing that,
Cool.
Which I love those guitars.
335s, yeah, those are nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have any hollow bodies at all outside of acoustics. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Now the 335 is actually, it's like the log. It has a solid kind of center, right? The 335.
Yeah, well,
No,
It's kind of a solid.
It
or is
depends.
just
It depends on the guitar.
it's thicker in the middle, but it's definitely hollowed out.
Yeah, I have a man. I had it on the stand. The show last night, I had it there. I changed it, but the one that I have, it's almost completely hollow inside.
Yeah,
The entire thing.
Cutaway.
yeah, it's a glue-on neck with a hollow body, but obviously the bracing in the center is going to be a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's
a
just
little
the
bit more
bracing
substantial because of the bridge and all the it's not routed out like a chambered Les Paul or a chambered Strat, that kind of deal. It doesn't have that kind of routing. It's basically a hollow body guitar, semi-hollow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
See if I can find a picture.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for me
I'm
to find a
looking
picture of
myself
it
as
than
well.
to get up.
Yeah, you're too lazy to get up and walk back to the.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is cool. I'll show you guys this. Somebody actually featured my guitar in a blog one time, like years and years and years ago.
I don't believe so, Metal Soda. He asked if Brian May's Red Special is a semi-hollow. I don't think so. No, I think that's a solid block.
Don't think so.
Yeah, it's a solid
Yeah,
block.
the
It's
335. Here we go. Let's get the glasses here.
breaking out the cheaters. Well, now we all have to do it.
58. It was a model that was combined a hollow body guitar with a solid. While it appeared to have a thin line hollow body, this is what I thought. It actually incorporated a solid block of wood running through the center of the otherwise hollow body. So it is like the log. Look at me.
All right.
That's what I'm doing.
Thumbnail.
Huh?
I had mine on just for fun, and then I realized I only need them for reading, so they're blurry unless I have something that I need to read.
I hate that they help so much, that I could actually you're very useful.
I don't need them. I don't have a prescription. These are just like Walgreens.
Yeah, I just
readers.
look at stuff blurry all the time. I'm happy.
Yeah.
This
And
Johnny.
look at me without them. Yeah.
You have to struggle to open your eyes.
Where
It's
I
so
can't even
bright.
see his eyes.
It's too bright. I got so many lights here. I can't even.
You're like Morocco Mole from Secret Squirrel over there.
The only way you can even see me.
Somebody post that
frames.
picture.
When I have the
Somebody,
frames on.
put that in Discord, Morocco Mall.
Somebody put Morocco Mole in the Discord.
Because I know exactly. I hope Johnny knows what we're talking about too.
No,
He'll Google it now.
Hanna-Barbera, right?
if
Yeah.
it's in the Discord.
He'll Google it.
Yeah. So what were we talking about
man.
before? Oh, the 335. Yeah, that's what I had thought, that it actually did have a solid piece going down the middle.
I always wanted a
Two
335,
wings
but they're
that
really
you want.
expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Even the
Here-
low ends are over 1,000.
This is the one that I have. Somebody actually, I did a video. There's a video on the channel here. I'll put it. There'll be a card where you can see the video on playback. From like 10, 11 years ago. I did this video, and
I'll
somebody,
take the trash out.
some
I know. I'm just moving it from I have a trash bag here in my so I can clean off my desk, and the dog's like, "What's in there?"
It's safe to go to the dumpster. I'm the same way. I've got a bag ready to go out too.
Oh yeah. Well, you get the empties. You get all the empties.
That's right.
Whether it's a can or a water bottle or whatever other things that you're throwing out.
Oh man. Anyway, here's my guitar. That's me.
That's literally your guitar.
That's me playing the guitar.
Now
Somebody.
is that a Gibson? That's a
It's a Seville.
Seville. Okay, because that was.
It's a
It looks
Seville.
like it almost looks like the casino, like the Epiphone Casino.
Yeah, they're all essentially
little
the same
fatter.
guitar.
I think it's a little fat. Talk about it, Johnny. I should shut the hell up.
Anyway, somebody, I don't know who is this. The mysteries of the Hondo guitar.
Oh wow.
Okay. January 2015. Somebody wrote this. I don't know who this is, but anyway, I don't know how I even found it. I have no idea. He doesn't mention my name in it, but that's me.
Nice.
That's my guitar there. And that's me showing the guitar off. Right there.
Look at you.
Nice.
What's up, Shreddy?
But okay, see, there's a picture. I didn't have
And you took the neck pickup out of it?
At one point, yeah. I've changed the pickups a million times.
It's
in
like
this
the
guitar.
Malcolm Young grad.
And actually, so it looks like it actually is maybe solid. Oh, there's a block in the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what because there was a tour of the Gibson factory recently, and that's what I think the guy who was from Premier Guitar, I think, was like, he may not have even known that it was, the construction, the way they constructed them, because it's a little unique.
What's interesting is the wings on that, the cutaways on it are a little bit more spread out than a Gibson or an Epiphone would be. See how they're
on
Johnny's, and that's
right.
Seville. They're a little bit more V'd out.
That's why I think it's like the Casino. Let me see if I can find a picture of the Casino. Although I don't know, it does look kind of like this one. It's got the same.
A little bit, but that was
it's
a little
varied
more.
Through the Gibson has.
If you look at the cutaway, where the neck joins the body. That scoop is a little bit more. See how John's is a little more
looks
off,
like
a Y.
Fatter,
yeah.
I'll get up and I'll
not as
I'll
pronounced.
Just get the guitar. It's just back there.
Yeah, go get it.
Let me just get it real quick.
Yeah, this would have been much easier if you'd have just get up and get the guitar, John.
Yeah.
Those 9 steps to the back there, probably a killer.
Let me see if there's a. Yeah. This is the semi-hollow hour for the Johnny Beane Straturday night.
I know Straturday semi-hollow, which I don't have. I'm the only one that doesn't know. Oh, I thought you said you own.
I don't have it. I don't. No, I have an acoustic, and then I have solid body electrics. That's about it. The Gibson. So and then you get like the different earlier Gibsons,
like the Birdland and
well, the Birdland isn't the Birdland an acoustic?
No, the Birdland's an electric semi-hollow.
So what was this?
That's what Ted Nugent played.
Oh, okay. The 175. I want to say that was like George Thorogood.
When you the cover of the first Ted Nugent record, that one that he's playing.
Yeah, I can picture it. Sure.
Then he moved over to PRS for a while when he was in Damn Yankees.
Ah, Damn Yankees.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I wanted to PRS because of him in Damn Yankees, but I just happened to see the ad for the Ernie Ball Music Man, Eddie Van Halen, and I'm like, I'll take that one instead.
Yeah, and worth it. Better choice.
Yeah.
It could have been like a Ted Nugent. We'll be doing a Ted Nugent YouTube.
I actually listened to a pretty good interview with him today.
Was it actually good, or did he rant?
It was he was ranting, but he was talking about everything that's going on. Everything that's going on right now, he was talking about.
He's one of those guys that unfortunately gets overlooked. Like we talk about guys that get overlooked, like Joe Walsh and Gary Moore and Billy Duffy from the Cult, like good guitar players that just don't get their run. And Ted, because of his mouth, has really diminished the appreciation for his music. That thing looks like it's pretty beat, man. How long? What year is it?
I think it's an early '80s.
And you got different tuners on it, right? Or are they just one side's tarnished?
No, I changed everything. I've had this guitar for about 22 years.
Yeah.
And you can see I had the logo covered up with tape at one point.
Yeah, you got the tuning keys and then the sort of.
It's two different sets of tuners.
2 sets of tuning keys, yeah.
One side is regular and one side is locking.
Oh, okay.
The old ones are locking, and the other ones are regular. And I had all locking tuners on here, and then for some reason the ones on the treble side stopped staying in tune, so I changed them over to just regular. Yeah, so there's that, and then the past several years I've had Seymour Duncan Fat Cat P90s in there.
That's a good looking guitar, man. You should play that more often.
Yeah, I know.
Sure gets a nice round jazzy sound to it.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, it's just amazing. You Yeah, I gotta do the stretch. There you go. You know.
Oh, did you see the Yngwie challenge?
No.
Yngwie Malmsteen puts up his social distancing video, and it's him, playing his little Littlies. He does that for a second. He goes, "Hello, this is Yngwie Malmsteen. I'm going to do the Yngwie Malmsteen challenge." And for the purposes of this impression, Yngwie Malmsteen will be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
So he's like, "Come on, do it! Grab the guitar, do it, play it now." But he's like, every day you should film yourself practicing. Every day of the quarantine or sheltering in place, or whatever word you want to use, you should play your guitar and practice, and you'd be surprised how good you are on day 15 versus day 1.
Yeah.
So finally, after 40 years, Yngwie Malmsteen provides something useful to the music community.
Well, for all those kids like Cameron and Josh out there that actually do that times 10 every
right,
day,
yeah. Well, it's funny. I saw the other. Obviously we've had Josh on the show, and I saw the video of him at NAMM and stuff. And I think I heard somebody go, "Can this kid play slow?" And I was like, "Oh." I was like, just because you can play slow doesn't mean he has to. That kid's amazing.
Yeah. And
There's certain people, you see them pick up a guitar and you just go, "I hate you."
Yeah. It makes everybody else all of us that have been doing it for years and are nowhere near that talented. I
always think of the scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off when he's got the clarinet. He just goes, "Never had one lesson." That's what I think of Josh. One of these guys, he's got no real theoretical knowledge whatsoever. He just sees stuff on video and goes, "Oh, I can do that."
And he does it. Yeah.
Damn you, talented youngster.
Yeah, that video was filmed by Michael Smith.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you hear the guy that was like, "God, slow down"?
No, I didn't hear that, no.
Yeah.
You're just jealous.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's absolutely it. If you can play that fast, you can play slow. And Josh has obviously shown that he can play with feel.
He can do whatever he wants.
That's what it comes down to, playing with
a badass doesn't have to tell people they're a badass. You just know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And that kid's got it.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's a great dude too, because he's been on these videos with us, and then after one of them, him and I were on here for like another hour, just talking, like when it wasn't running, and he's a great
kid. He's a good kid, and I love the fact that he doesn't have much knowledge because he's young of like where it came from, and yet wants to know. Like as soon as you open up the door of something that he's never heard of before as a guitar player, he'd be like, "Oh, really? Tell me more." He has that thirst for it that you love to see in a kid. I love seeing kids that want.
I think that's kind of the thing that we all had. If you're gonna stick with, we're not. I'm not necessarily. I don't call myself a musician by trade or anything, and Paul probably not. Johnny is definitely a musician, but we all kind of have that thing where we've grown up and had the experience of music throughout our, certainly throughout our 20s, and that was probably the most formative years of our, music experience. But
I was a singer, so I've been trying to play guitar since 1979, and I have been failing since 1979. But I was a singer in a band, and the reason why is because I can't make what I hear up here come out of here. Mm-hmm. So I have infinite respect for anybody that can do that, because I can hear it, but I can't make it happen. And I don't know what that is. And it's not about practice, and it's literally, it just doesn't happen for me. Bass I can play, but guitar, for whatever reason, it just doesn't translate. Watching somebody that has an innate ability to do that with no real knowledge of where it comes from or theoretical knowledge or anything like that is stunning to me, because it's just, they say you're born with that gift. Right. And this kid, Josh being the example that we're using now, they just have that gift.
It's like those kids, those little, 8-year-olds who were playing Beethoven completely, on the piano, or even like, 5-year-olds that are doing it too.
That's not something you learn. If you're at that age, you don't have the wherewithal to be able to put A, B, and C together. Your cognitive skills aren't developed to that level. That's innate. They've got it. And I don't know what that is. It's almost like, they talk about autism and how it's a level of genius that translates. That's a level of communication that is on a different plane with us, and obviously there's some sacrificing that's done to balance out the scale. In this situation, when you've got one of those kid geniuses that can play, watching like I was a kid is like 8 or 9 years old that's playing. He's got an SG and he's doing like Metallica, and he's like playing like the solo.
There's countless kids out there on YouTube, and
stupid.
Some are great, some are unbelievably just genius. There's a whole, but I mean, for the most part, it's just it's nowhere where we were at 10 years old for that matter.
Well, thankfully, the guys that I was looking up to back then were not very good either. Ace Frehley is not a great guitar player, but he could write great riffs. So
But yeah, and it got you hooked, and it got you into music, and from there you went however you wanted. I mean, if it was Kiss, or in my case, like Van Halen or
Sure.
AC/DC were kind of my first favorites. And before that was like the Monkees and that kind of stuff. But
yeah, it was funny.
It got me into music, and it just really got me tuned to it. And I may not be a full on professional musician, but I'm definitely involved. I love music. I don't know why I'm just giving my biography, but it's like it's just we all have that kind of that leveler of hearing music, and it just and there are people out there who just kind of passively enjoy music, but I think those of us that are talking about it and that kind of thing, we actively enjoy it, and you can listen to the same song 10 times and hear a different a nuance that you never heard before, which is the stuff that I love about music. I guess that's what it comes down to. That's one of the things that I love about music. There's always more you can get out of it.
Well, I feel music, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one in the conversation that feels music. You can, it has a.
You're emotionally moved, but you can be emotionally moved.
Yeah,
and that's by being. Yeah, that's the way I feel.
And if I can't feel it, I'm not interested in it, and that's the weird part about it. Like as much as I like hip hop and I like alternative and I like some classical, but like there's certain like country music that just does nothing for me. I recognize that people like it.
Interesting. You separate country out of that group of what you just said, from classical and
right.
Hip hop and all that. Country is out on the side.
I like and again, maybe that's part of that's environmental, because I grew up in an urban environment, so I have no understanding of what it's like to drive my pickup truck along the fence and work the cattle. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I do like bluegrass, and I like the old Hank Williams and all that stuff. But like Kenny Rogers just died.
Right.
Can't stand his music.
I saw somebody put that.
I was just going to pull that up. I was just pulling that up.
Can't stand his music. I recognize that people love him. I recognize his contributions, but it doesn't touch me. It doesn't move me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I like Kenny Rogers. I will say Kenny Rogers, as far as the 80s country artists.
Don't get it.
I liked a couple. I did like the Gambler. Come on. I mean, you can't not like the Gambler.
Don't get it.
Oh, no.
No.
What was the early? He also had an early hit that was in like the 60s that I'm trying to find.
Just kind of dropped in to check what my condition was in. See what
that's what it was.
Yeah, and I get it, and I know why people like it, but it doesn't move me. And so, and I think people are like that. Like death metal doesn't move me. But I can get, but I can get into stuff like Strapping Young Lad, like that extreme metal I can listen to, but death metal does nothing for me. Like the, Cannibal Corpse and
right.
That Cattle Decapitation and all those bands do nothing for me.
But I can see how that can emotionally affect some. I mean, I don't mean.
Oh, sure.
But it strikes something in certain people. Certainly, death metal has that effect on people. I mean,
Sure.
Not that I went through a period of death metal that I liked it, but I mean, I hung around with people who, genuinely were in that scene for a short time, and
same here.
It was, and so I mean, they're not terrible people, and there's an audience. There's an audience for that kind of music too.
No, I recognize, and like certainly, I would never downplay any of it. I can't play any of that stuff, but you never look. Music is subjective. That's the beauty of it. Is all of it is good to somebody. Some people
absolutely,
some people prefer Gregorian chants.
Sure,
that's their thing.
That's why I used to kind of not get on people about liking rap and hip hop, and when I was in high school, I was so like kind of against that. I was just, a rocker, and I had the jean jacket and all that crap. But at that time in 90, 91, 92, it was like that was the kind of the birth of hip hop going mainstream. So it was like a lot of people were listening to that stuff, and there was the separation of the rockers and the people who listen to that stuff.
Meanwhile, you were late to the game.
Yeah, and well, nowadays I can enjoy it. I can enjoy it on a lot of different levels, and I can enjoy hip hop on not that it's not my go-to or anything, but yeah. What did Mancuda say? You got to know when to hold them. He's saying that to Dolly Parton, of course. Yeah, there's a great concert.
My line was this morning, given everything that's going on in the world, Kenny Rogers knew when to fold them.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
I saw that.
Good timing, Kenny. God bless you.
Yeah, no, again, a legend in every way, shape, and form. But
I was going to say there's that classic concert with Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers that they did back in the 80s. And at the very end of the concert, they're both, I don't know if it's both of them, Dolly and Kenny going out, but there's a kid in the audience who actually grabs Dolly Parton's breasts. And it's like, you can see it clear as day ever. The kid's just like reaches out and she's just like, walking back to the dressing room.
Oh my goodness.
And somebody mentioned,
I'll put that in the Discord because I'm sure it's out there on YouTube.
Somebody mentioned that somebody died. Somebody else had died a couple of years ago, yesterday or the day before, and it was like another one of Dolly Parton's exes. She goes, "Can you imagine what she does to her men?" I said, "Anything they want." And then I put the hashtag still would. Dolly Parton still would.
She wants to be in Playboy for her 50th anniversary.
She wants to be on the cover of Playboy. Playboy's done.
Well,
Playboy.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
50th anniversary or what?
Yeah, well, of her, I think or maybe it was the 40th anniversary.
She was on the cover. She was on the cover like 40 years ago.
Probably 80, yeah. That would have been 40 years ago. Oh, God.
Yeah, she was in the bunny outfit. She was still thick back then. Still would.
She didn't, I don't think she wasn't naked by any
No, she never got naked.
She didn't show anything.
There are rumors, the reason why she covers up so much up to her neck and stuff like that, and you barely see anything cleavage-wise, there are rumors that she's tatted. Like she's got all kinds of tattoos and shit all over.
Well, I'm sure there's all kinds of rumors, but
no, she cops to the fact that she's nuts in bed and that she'll do anything for her husband.
Just to round it out, are they real or are they? Or
no.
But now
she has the receipt.
The 70s. I mean, did they actually? I didn't know they did that in the 70s.
No, she was thick in the 70s. She was thick.
But like silicone, did they do like implants and stuff like that in the 70s? I guess they.
Oh, yeah.
So they're probably not the best. It probably wasn't the best job in the.
Well, she's probably
the early days of the. Yeah, that's true.
You got to have them. You got to have them like when you have them done. You got to have them redone like every 10, 15 years. Yeah. Because they harden. They do. They harden. I know. The silicone bag, the seam hardens. Then you get.
I've done this. I've done the research. I'm aware. Nothing wrong with that. It's faker. What did Jerry Seinfeld say? They're real and they're spectacular.
Yeah. Well, she's got the receipt, so
I'm sure
they're real.
Does, yeah.
All right, my dogs are giving me the first. Okay, it's time for us to go out. Look, so I'll be right back.
No, take care of that.
Got to remember last week they were puking on the show.
Yeah, it's better than that.
Remember that?
Yeah, man. If it's not Johnny's cat bringing in a giant. There you go.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know they were fake.
Were they actually a couple? Were they ever married, or they just dated, or were they just like a performing couple?
I don't know. John Biel.
Someone's gonna know. Mancuda must know. Mancuda says, "I don't care if they're full of gravel and pumpkin seeds. More boogie for daddy." You got it, man. Sounds good. I don't know about gravel and pumpkin seeds, but hey, whatever you like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, what is she? She's almost, if not 80 yet, she's pushing 80, and she's holding on to that.
He was over 80.
Yeah. Yeah,
he was
he had plastic surgery too.
Yeah. You look at
more recently,
look at recent pictures of him. He doesn't look the same at all.
Yeah, he looks.
Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, we're live over on Facebook.
I was gonna say, yeah, Facebook.
Let me see. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like. And you're saying that's plastic surgery?
I think, maybe in like the early 2000s or something. Maybe it's all that fried chicken money. He spending it on his good
the
looks.
Kenny's Rogers Roasters.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite Seinfelds.
Absolutely, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't look bad on that one on the left. He just looks like older.
Just
It's hard to tell. I mean, everybody in.
Well, the thing is, to me, he was always old.
Yeah, he always had the gray hair. Like I was saying, he had a hit in the late '60s with Paul said the name. I can't remember it at this point, but I don't know if it was a solo hit or if it was with a band that he was. Let's just find that Kenny Rogers.
He was 81. Okay, so then how old was he back when I thought he was old? He really wasn't old then, huh?
Yeah, when was he born? He was Kenny Rogers.
Mad TV Kenny Rogers. Yeah,
absolutely. What was that guy's name? Yeah, that was good. I know exactly what you're talking about. That actor was.
And actually, there's somebody on Twitter that has the name not Kenny Rogers, and I've been following them for years and years and years.
So he was born in 38. So yeah, 82,
38,
almost 82, 81.
So there's Dolly in her sweet spot on that right picture. That's when she was prime.
Well, now that was 80s. That looks like late 80s. And how old? When was she born? Let's find out when she was. How old?
She's in her 70s.
It's got to be, yeah.
No, she's definitely in her 70s. And I still would. Still would.
She's a good look. A friend of mine actually, works down on her ranch. A guy that I used to work with works, and he's an actor who does, I don't know, sings and acts on her ranch down or whatever it's called, Dollywood.
Yeah, see, not quite as good looking back then. Little thicker. Look at if you look at that picture right there.
She looks pretty good there.
Look how young he looks there. That has to be early 70s?
Probably mid 70s. Look at that picture. All right. Take a look at that face. Take a good look at that face. Looks like Hillary.
Whose face? Dolly's or?
Yeah. Take a good look at that face. She looks like Hillary.
I can see a little bit of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit.
In the face. Yeah. Not saying, just saying.
And she always had a wig too. I don't know if that was a wig back in the early days. Nowadays, she's got a wig.
Yeah, she's worn wigs forever. I remember my buddy, we would go to his house and use trains, play with trains, model trains when we were kids. And he had one of the old pictures of her, like from some magazine up on the wall, where she was wearing like the red plaid shirt and the jeans. Mm-hmm. And she was a little on the thick, she would be considered thick back then. She's had a lot of work done for decades upon decades.
Well, she's a petite girl. I mean, she's like 5 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Small. So
she's basically the American Charo. Except Charo was real.
Who was Charo? I do remember that. What was that?
You don't know who Charo is?
No, it's been a while, but I recognize the name Charo. What was that from?
She's a Hungarian flamenco. Not Hungarian. She's Spanish.
Not the one with the bananas on the hair.
No, that's Carmen Miranda.
Carmen Miranda, yeah.
I don't know
Charo.
why I know
okay,
that.
I now I'm start. It's coming back. Yeah.
Charo with blonde, big eyes. She's the coochie girl.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, huge rack, really curvy, big lips. She's basically what Angeline, the pinup model, ended up looking like after plastic surgery is what Charo looks like in real life. See, there's Dolly in her sweet spot.
I don't know, but I don't. It's way too 80s and too like I don't know, too much makeup and that kind of. That doesn't do it for me. The earrings, maybe the. Those big Sally Jesse Raphael earrings. I know that she's all about the big glasses, the big red glasses.
But yeah, she was. But Charo, you might want to check out Charo playing guitar. Phenomenal flamenco guitar player.
Really?
Yes, phenomenal. Like
I probably won't check it out, but
no, you should. You should because she's got skills.
I think Dolly actually got younger looking throughout like the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, I think that's the point of the plastic surgery.
Yeah. Or why are we talking about this? Let's move on.
Because Kenny Rogers died, and we got to give him the kind of
God
treatment he
bless
deserves
Kenny.
by
God
talking
bless
about.
his chicken. I never had his chicken, but
Never had it.
no.
I never had it either, but like I said,
There's Charo.
Seinfeld
Charo.
was one of my
Okay.
favorites.
Yeah, now I remember Charo. Yeah.
Super, super talented guitar player.
Yeah, she's got the guitar there.
Yeah. Really, really. And actually can sing, too.
Up.
Yeah,
She was always on like the
variety shows, right?
Yeah, and the Jerry Lewis telethon and
Mm-hmm.
game shows.
Yeah. Maybe she was on
Hollywood
like
Squares.
Johnny Carson and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. She did the circuit. She always did like the talk show circuit.
Yeah, she was like, I think her prime was probably before our time. And by the time we saw her, she was basically game show fodder.
Right.
You know?
I'm sure she was on Stern several times.
Well, here she is. It looks like she's on. What show do you think that is?
Love Boat.
Yeah.
Coochie Coochie. And that was the prime, the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Back when I thought Kenny Rogers was old.
And then on the right is kind of the image that I have of her.
That's what she's old there. She's really old. I mean, she's been around for a long time.
What's the caption say? That what?
Well, I mean, elderly men. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, like back in when we were in the 80s, when a woman was, and I hate to go there, but like in the
but you're
when
going
was in her
to.
60s, it was the Golden Girls. It was the Golden Girls. That's what you would think of a
sexist pig.
And the Golden Girls was great. I love that. It was still a good show, but
I
mean, it was
it was awesome, that show.
It wasn't like aging. Well, I guess it was aging gracefully. That's what it was. So I'm gonna shut the hell up and just, let's move on. Anyway,
It's gonna let you bury yourself.
Yeah.
Hey Jay. Oh, Charo was on Pee Wee?
Was she really?
Pee Wee, yeah, I do. Yeah, Pee Wee's Playhouse.
And there's Mancuda keeping it classy.
Did you take the dogs out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's Jay.
It is the same today.
Come on. You know.
Hey Val.
Yeah, she was on the Pee Wee's Christmas special. Pee Wee's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Remember that?
Lawrence Fishburne. Who else? Phil Hartman. A lot of people got their start on Pee Wee's.
I believe Phil Hartman was bitter about the fact that he was really part of the reason why Pee Wee's Playhouse became a thing, and then Paul Rubens stole most of the credit from him.
Yeah, but
He was like the original writer for Pee Wee.
He was the original writer, and it was his concept, from what I understand.
Is that right?
Yeah, I
But
think
Phil went his own way and became, But that was like the 84, 85, I think, just before SNL.
I always think
Probably
of
his big
I always think of Phil Hartman when I see Bryan Cranston.
Similar, yeah.
They look a lot alike to me.
Yeah.
You know my
I
favorite.
think Bryan Cranston took off where Phil Hartman left off.
My favorite Phil Hartman movie. You guys, there's no way you're gonna guess it. Come on, take a guess.
Your favorite Phil Hartman?
I couldn't name 3 Phil Hartman movies.
Not
The Christmas one.
No.
The toy one.
No.
the toy one, the Christmas one.
The one where he plays an obnoxious prick?
It's with
The one where
Sinbad.
Oh,
House Guest.
House Guest.
Oh man,
That movie is phenomenal.
People love House Guest.
It's an awesome
people
movie.
love Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad's good in it. That's such a great movie. Hello, everybody in the chat.
Hello, Jay Hannon. Welcome.
Now, speaking of Pee Wee, before it went on TV,
Merci, Pepper!
if anybody has the, I haven't seen it in so long, and I remember my mom kept rewinding it for me on our first VCR ever back in Illinois, and I remember seeing a scene where some neighbor, some girl comes in, and he puts mirrors on his sneakers so he can look up her skirt.
Yeah.
What was
And
this
I
on?
remember-
Was on Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
No, it was Pete, whatever. Before it went to TV, it was like it had some adult humor to it.
Well,
So
that
he-
was the point of it.
Well,
It
I
was
think he did an
supposed-
HBO special.
Yeah, it might have been the
his
HBO
first.
special.
I think that was his
straps
first.
He straps these rear view mirrors to his white shoe,
Yeah.
and he's putting it under her skirt, and she's like, "I'm not wearing panties," and he's like, "Oh, never mind." And I'm like, as a let's see, how old was I? Probably 7. 7 years old, 8 years
That's
old,
just-
maybe.
Good parenting is what I'm thinking, Jay.
And I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Well, that was the point of. I mean, let's face it. All the adult jokes that happened in the Warner Brothers cartoons and stuff like that. That now that you're an adult, you're like,
Mhm.
oh my god,
Yeah.
Right.
how did
I
they
was
get away
wondering-
with that?
I always wonder why my parents would laugh at things in Looney Tunes that I'm like that. What I don't understand.
That
what
wasn't
happened.
funny.
Next thing you know, I'm hearing a chuckle behind me. My dad, I'm like, what did that mean? You'll find out later.
Yeah, you'll get it later.
Yeah.
So the character Pee Wee Herman originated in 1978 as an improv exercise. He came up with the idea of a man who wanted to be a comic but was so inept at telling jokes that it was obvious to the audience that he would never make it. I don't know if that's talking about Paul
That sounds like
Rubens or
Emo
Pee Wee.
Phillips' biography.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jay, that's on YouTube.
Is it?
We'll have to put that in the Discord.
Be
Yeah,
right back.
the Pee Wee,
back.
the Pee Wee one.
I have a dog situation.
So yeah, it looks
Okay.
like it was the Pee Wee Herman show.
What is it, buddy? Where is it?
Trying to see.
When he left his microphone on. You stupid dog! You son of a bitch!
Oh gosh.
Rubens auditioned for the 1980-81 season of Saturday Night Live, but Gilbert Godfrey got the role.
God,
Gilbert Godfrey.
can't stand him.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, the Pee Wee Herman show. It was a live tour that he went on. Basically, Pee Wee Herman show ran for 5 sellout months
Wow.
during midnight audiences in Manhattan. It looks like. Good for him. And that was
It was
81.
It's a TV
1981.
movie. That's what Jay. It was a TV movie that you saw.
It looked like it
And
was on
then-
a stage.
Yeah.
And then 81, it was part of the series On Location from HBO, Pee Wee Herman show, HBO.
The scene that I see here, this is it. We can't play it on here, but we'll put it in the Discord. And it looks like this.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh my God. It's been so.
You know
long
what?
since I've seen
I
that.
think I remember that too. Yeah. Was that from his HBO special?
The
Or
Pee
the
Wee Herman
Pee Wee
Show,
Herman show.
1981.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was Lawrence Fishburne, I think, was the cowboy. Go back to the picture for a sec.
No, that wasn't Lawrence Fishburne.
It
there.
wasn't. Oh, okay.
No, that was like the girl's brother. The girl's brother
Cowboy.
or something. It was weird, man.
Okay.
That
It
part,
was a little, yeah, just kind
that
of
part sticks out to
out
me.
there.
That was might have been John Moody or John Paragon.
Mancuda.
Mancuda, yeah. First roll.
He mentioned Benny
Well-
Hill before. We were all raised on Benny Hill. Yeah, and I didn't
Yeah.
become, turn out to be a huge pervert.
That's where we saw tits for the first time. Most of us. Benny Hill. I mean that and Monty Python, right?
Jesus.
I mean, it was on PBS for crying out loud.
But it was late at night.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I used to watch that with my dad. That Betty Hill.
Could you imagine if that show aired now? How awesome would it be?
Oh,
I'm sure there's something like it you can compare it to. Like on Japanese TV, they have all kinds of stuff like that.
I'm talking about
Like just
America.
the crazy. Yeah, in America, I don't know if they
America.
America. But Benny Hill was never on in America. I mean, until it was on PBS and in the
It was never on.
Reruns.
For what?
is it really on PBS?
No, it was on channel 56 in Boston.
Sounds crazy.
maybe I'm thinking Monty Python. I know the
Monty Python was on PBS.
PBS. Yeah.
Never liked Benny Hill. Benny Hill. When Benny Hill was on, I watched it. It was an Irish or Welsh comedian named Dave Allen. It was a show called Dave Allen at Large. While Benny Hill was on, they were both on at 11 o'clock at night, and Channel 56 in Boston had Benny Hill, and Channel 38 had Dave Allen at Large. So I watched Dave Allen. It was basically an Irish comedian, I think he's Irish, who sat in a chair, almost like the Mike Douglas show, doing, told stories, and he was missing a finger. He always had a bottle, like a glass of gin. And he was talking about one time, I remember he was doing something. It was done in front of a live audience. It was kind of like the Graham Norton show is now, if you've ever watched that on BBC. And he'd be sitting there telling these stories and stuff. And he did one story where he had the glass of gin in his hand like this. And he was talking about like horror movies. He goes, the curse of Frankenstein and the curse of Dracula and the curse of the
Mummy.
4.5 fingers. And it was hilarious when he did it. And the audience, just losing it. Very dry English comic. You can find it on YouTube if you Google Dave Allen at Large. Very 60s, 70s sort of cheesy comedy show.
Well, Johnny, that's like you're the guy from Arthur. What's his name?
Dudley Moore.
Dudley Moore. He was around that era too. I mean, there's some great early Dudley Moore sketches that from the late 60s.
He was probably on this show.
What the?
What, Dave Allen?
Jay. What is going on with Jay?
What's that all about? Is Jay doing a wipe?
He's doing a green screen. Looks like. Are
you got a little green screen attached?
Living room?
Whose their living room is that, Jay?
Where's your
What
head?
is going on?
Is that your living room?
Yeah.
Modern home living.
Oh, you got a nice piano, man.
Yeah, I wish that was my living room. Are you kidding me? I'd fly you guys out to each show we did.
How are you?
You guys, what is doing for my living room? I got a plane right waiting for you.
That'd be great.
Okay, that's cool. Jay
got a new effect.
Yeah. You need a bit. Oh, there you go. There's the brick wall. Perfect.
Yeah,
now it's the improv.
Afro.
Turn it up a little bit more so you can.
Now
Jay's at you.
Jay's at the improv.
You need a green hair or a good back, flat back. That's cool. I got to figure out how to do that.
You can all do it right now. Yo, look at my guitar.
Play with this effect. Oh, nice.
Got that custom brick Ibanez.
You get a brick wall. And
congratulations, Jay just joined Helix.
That's cool.
Jay might not get that reference.
Hold on a second. All right, take me off. I want to find a cool
Jay's bored. He's just trying to figure out what he can do with. Is it Streamlabs that's through?
This is StreamYard. This one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's in the settings somewhere. What he's doing.
Cool.
They have like a green screen effect where you don't have to have a green screen.
You don't even have to be there. It's just
it helps because it doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, if the green screen was there, it wouldn't.
Well, if you had a solid background, you could probably put it for any color.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Actually, you might just have to use a green background.
You can get just a
Well, for most green screens, you can tune the color in whichever color you want to extract, or to put the effect on.
Oops, hold on. What is this?
Back in like the George Lucas days, it was blue screen.
It's fun because they do that. Obviously, all your morning television shows do the traffic and weather in front of a green screen, and it's always great when the incredibly hot traffic chick is wearing like a belt that happens to be the same color as whatever the green screen is. So she's up there and she's doing her traffic report, and part of her midsection is missing.
You'd think she would prepare for that, but I guess,
no, they always screw it up.
I'm sure you've seen it, yeah.
If anybody wants to know the hot traffic chick I'm talking about, you can always Google Vanessa Ramirez, Channel 12 Phoenix, and you're welcome. Look at that.
Nice. Let's transform Jay to...
Is that Jay or is that a young Caleb Rappaport?
30 years in the future.
That's young me.
I know. I'm just saying it. You're making guitar faces.
That's a young you. And look at that post on the wall.
I was going to say, yeah.
Looks like one of Mancuta's guitars.
That's right here.
That same poster, I think. That same artist that does those.
God damn it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Line up the head.
Oh, there you go. Back up a little bit, Jay.
By the way, Jay, is that an ESP guitar you're playing as a kid?
That is a guitar that was built for. Take a guess.
The Invisible Man.
Reed.
No.
Vernon Reed.
Vinny Vincent.
John BL, you know this, don't you?
No, somebody from the other guy from Kiss, right?
Mark St. John.
Hewlett.
Vinnie
Kulick.
Vincent.
Bruce Kulick.
No kidding.
That guitar was built for Bruce Kulick at what is it? Oh my God, what's the Customs in New York City? Something 8th Street Customs.
Now, why did you end up with it?
It's not mine. It was my brother. My brother was a drummer, and it was his guitar player. His name was
Nice
Rob
shirt, by the
Mandato.
way.
Rob Mandato, and he bought that guitar. Was it 38 8th Street Customs?
38 or 48th.
48, whatever. I have no idea. 40, yeah, Mancuda said it. So, long story short, he went in there one day looking for a guitar, and he saw that one, and they told him that it was a guitar that was built for Bruce, and he never picked it up. So, about a year and a half ago, I messaged that picture to Bruce and said, "Hey, does this guitar look familiar?" And he said, I forget, it kind of went something like, "Yes, where is it?" So I kind of explained the story, and I asked him, I said, the guitarist was told, it was built for you, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah, it's true. I never picked it up. So I tried to find out where it is, but Rob had sold it about 5-6 years ago now, maybe. And I don't know if he knows where it is. So
Did you ever hear that Bruce Kulick shot in the head story?
Oh, jeez. No.
He was no, this is recent, fairly recent. There was a shooting at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and somebody had pulled up in front of the grill, got out of the car, and unloaded a 9mm into the patio at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. And apparently one of the bullets winged Bruce Kulick. Now, I again, this is somebody will have to look this up to confirm it.
Mancuda probably knows.
Yeah, but wing Bruce Kulick, like Gray's Bruce Kulick. The thing that happens was the guy basically emptied his entire 9mm into the patio, not realizing what he should have done when he ran out of bullets was get in his car and run. But he didn't. So the patio at the Rainbow Bar and Grill empties out onto Hollywood Boulevard and beats the living shit out of the guy that shot into the crowd and held him until the police showed up. Now, Mancuda would probably know this story. But this happened because my buddy was there that night and said,
He got the guitar he was playing that night.
But my buddy was there and he said, yeah, there was a shooting at the Rainbow. He was, I don't know if he was over at the Roxy in line or something like that, but he said some guy unloaded into the patio and Bruce Kulick was grazed by a bullet.
wow.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Did you just Google that story?
The day ex-Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick was almost shot to death. I'm looking at it. Yeah.
That's such a great story.
Yeah, Mancuda never heard that one.
Oh, and there's a picture of him on a stretcher.
Man.
Yeah, I think it's in it's in a different language though. But
Yeah, my buddy Adden was there and told the story. He said the guy came and unloaded a 9, and then when he ran out of bullets, didn't think to get back in his car and run, so that he got his ass beat. Like everybody emptied out of the patio. Look, if you're going to shoot at somebody at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, chances are you're going to get your ass kicked if you don't kill them.
Well, downtown LA, isn't it?
West
Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah.
oh no,
You know what JAG Hatur stands for? It hurt my head.
what are we looking at?
Oh, she shit her pants. She shit her pants, everybody.
There you go.
Okay.
There's the story there. Ultimate Classic
Okay.
Rock has the story.
He had just seen Vince Neil perform at the Rainbow Room,
He was
the
blown
Rainbow
away
Bar. Yeah.
by the performance. He was on a mad rampage.
Huh? Look at that. I wasn't making that up.
Yeah, he started shooting wild. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got him. Grazed his temple.
Yeah.
One other person was shot in the foot.
That's scary, man.
Yeah, and apparently, but they left out the part about how the bar emptied out and beat the shit out of the guy till the cops showed up.
That's pretty much as close as you can get to
Tackled by
to the end.
go back
Did it
up.
say somebody was tackled?
Was tackled by a club patron and then beaten up by several motherfuckers.
He was curb stomped like
Wait,
Ed Norton in American History X.
And then Kulik went on to play guitar for Grand Funk
For
Railroad.
Grand Funk, yeah. He's been in Grand Funk for a long
I probably
time.
saw Grand Funk played every summer. I worked at the casino in Hampton, so I wonder if he must have played there when I was there in the '90s.
There you go. I knew I
man.
heard that story.
You heard it here now.
Yeah, it said he got shot in the thigh as well, right next to his penis.
He almost got shot in the
Yeah,
Kulik.
that would be the thigh, definitely.
That's where the thigh is located near the penis. Thanks, John.
And the
Thanks,
Joe
Jack.
Theismann.
That's in this general vicinity, the thigh.
All right, I was
His
just making
penis
sure.
region.
That's what I thought it was, that area.
Isn't it amazing? Joe Theismann changes his name from Theismann to Theismann and then breaks his thigh.
I didn't know that.
That's a
Oh,
great.
Krelbar said he got shot in the ankle near the penis.
Still near. It's still near.
It depends. I mean, maybe Bruce Kulick is hung like Uncle Milty.
It's all relative. It's all relative, yeah.
Mark Farner from
We
Grand
can't all
Funk
be
Railroad.
Bruce.
Mitch Hamish just goes, I saw Mark Farner in the 80s. Mark Farner opened for my band on a Wednesday night in Saugus, Massachusetts. His career was at rock friggin' bottom at that
Man,
point.
I'll tell you, Mark Farner, he's gone through his ups and downs, but when I worked with him back in the '90s, he was amazing on guitar. I thought he was a great guitarist, and really, it was good to see Grand Funk, and he did solo stuff too. But he was very. I can remember before the show, he had a prayer circle with his. I think he's a born again Christian, so that's what I remember the most about it. Big prayer circles before the show.
We played a place it used to be called the Rock Pile in Saugus, but it was renamed briefly for a while. It was renamed Red Square, and it had like a hammer and sickle, logo, and just stupid. Like in late 80s, early 90s, it was called Red Square, and it was part of the Palace Entertainment Complex, which was one of those, complex.
Route 1.
Route 1 in Saugus, Route 1 and Route 99 in Saugus, and there were like 8 clubs in there. And they were all separated by a couple of doors. So one club would be like the same night that there'd be a rock band playing in Red Square, there'd be like a hip hop show going on down in the Palace, and there'd be another show going on in a different place. And every once in a while, one of the doors would open up and you'd find yourself in the wrong club on the wrong night.
Yeah.
And we get there and we're in the back room and they're like, all right, what's the lineup for the band side? There were like 5-6 bands playing. And it was like some band above us, then Mark Farner, then 2 bands before Mark Farner. And we're like,
So
wait
who
a
was
minute.
the headliner?
Maybe the Tears
Wow.
or something else, a band out of East Boston. But it was just the weirdest thing in the world that we found out that Mark Farner was opening right in front of us. We're like, and then we thought to ourselves, well, maybe we're the chaser. Like there was a time when they put 5 bands on the bill and the headliner was actually third. Like if you go to a boxing match, the main event of a boxing match isn't the last match of the night. Right. The main event of a boxing match is the main event, and then they have 2 or 3 fights while people are walking out. Those are called the chaser. And we were thinking, is Mark Farner opening for us, or are we the chaser for Mark Farner? And we'll never know the answer to that
When
question.
was this? What year was this? Do you remember?
I'm going to say 1991.
What time of day what time at night was it?
No, it was a night show.
No, what I'm
What
saying is
season?
that's how you know. If you guys went on, if you guys went on at 2 a.m.
No, we went on at like 10:30 on a Wednesday night.
Which is kind of the prime slot for a Wednesday night.
10:30 on a Wednesday is after.
You think so? That's a chaser?
Yeah.
All right, so we were the chaser. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for ruining the one part that one guy
for Mark Farner,
29 years later.
Yeah.
I just
found out that Mark Farner never opened for us. Damn it!
He also played in a band with Jack Bruce. I think it was Mark Farner and Jack Bruce.
Dude, we used to play. I'm sorry to interrupt your exciting story.
Yeah.
Before it gets going.
Killing time until Jay Hannon has something to say.
Listen, if I don't say it right now, I'm going to forget it because that's how my brain is right now.
Because someone's drinking.
No, something else.
Edible.
All good.
Dude, talk about playing late shows on a Wednesday or Tuesday. I'm trying to think, what was CBGB's like shit night of the week?
Right.
Was it a Tuesday or
Any
Wednesday?
of those clubs, yeah.
Yeah, see, Wednesdays wasn't a shit night
Just-
at
it's
this
just a-
club, but I don't know. CB's was Sunday afternoon, right? It was a Sunday afternoon hardcore
We've
show.
we've played on afternoons there as well, but
Yeah.
I remember specifically this one. It was either a
Thursday?
Tuesday or-
Thursday or Tuesday?
Maybe it was Tuesday because, dude, we played there probably like 3 times, and every time it was literally us playing for the people that worked there, and then like our friends band that played before us.
And
or
the place
something.
only holds like what, 200 people at the most.
Yeah, that's not
jam-packed,
counting-
maybe.
That's not counting downstairs with the fucking
yeah.
the DNA infused couch.
Oh God!
Looks like
That thing was
the
gross.
And everybody out there has seen the picture of the bathroom at CBGB.
Yeah,
right?
what a dump.
Literally,
The closest thing we had to
Johnny, find
CBGB's was
that.
a place called the Rathskeller
I'll
in
find
Boston. Was our CBGB's.
that's right.
Well, the first time I walked into that bathroom, the first thing I thought of, who would ever take a shit in here?
It was too filthy to shit in.
No, dude, it was literally up on like a riser, and there's no door. It's just
Oh
like
my
you're
God.
right in the middle of the room.
The
Like,
throne.
you must really have to go.
See, you were never in the bathroom at the Rathskeller in Boston. I'm too big to fit in the bathroom of the Rathskeller in Boston. You walked in there and it was a step up, but then it was a low ceiling. So it was like being in the bathroom in a tour bus.
Dude, look at it.
Yeah, what a dump.
It's up on it
Crazy.
literally, like up on.
Yeah, it's
two
a throne.
sides. It's a throne riser.
That's a prison bathroom is what that is.
How much
No, wrong one.
on a crowded Tuesday night, gentlemen? How much money would you have to be paid to use that crapper?
Oh,
No, it's the toilet itself is like just it's an art piece at this point.
And how would
That's all it is,
how is it legal?
right?
no, at the Board of Health is, I mean, who cares? Board of Health wouldn't be like
You have an
going in there.
operational toilet. You have a toilet that works. Yes. Okay. you pass.
There was a club in Worcester, Massachusetts called Sir Morgan's Cove that was only famous because that's where the Rolling Stones kicked off their 1981 tour.
I think I've been there before. Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine played there years ago.
If you played Sir Morgan's Cove, it had a drop ceiling. If you were anything over 5'7", you were screwed because your head was going through the ceiling. But their dressing room was downstairs, underneath the bar. There was no bathroom down there. There was like a closet room, and then there was like an alcove off the closet room. That's where people shit.
Yeah. Closet. Just a closet. A hole. You have a hole you can shit in.
I mean, could you literally imagine having to shit so bad in the middle of a show and
At CB's.
there while all these dudes are coming in and out, just like this guy.
How about getting sick? I remember in New Haven, at Toad's place in New Haven. That
Look at
place
this
was
one.
just as bad. and having to puke in the toilet.
Oh
my
God.
God.
Did you find the Google bathroom at Rathskeller in Boston? RATHSKELLER.
Let's look at bathrooms, definitely.
AR.
We're all gonna get ads on Facebook tomorrow for like bathroom remodeling.
Yeah, right.
See if you can find bathroom at the Rat in Boston, and you'll find out it's a one banger.
I hope you can't find that picture.
One banger.
It's a one banger, and there's less room in that bathroom than there is at John's desk right there. I mean, what a dump.
Ew.
You'd walk into that place, it was like
Best. Oh no, it's not that one. I'm looking at pictures of bathrooms. This is horrible.
Good night,
Yeah, right.
Crowbar.
Here, I think I found it.
Yeah, it's right
Good
here.
night, Crowbar. Oh no, that can't be it.
Does that look like it, Paul?
Lockers, like rusted lockers.
yeah, looks.
It
similar.
says Rathskeller celebrates 80. Oh no, it's 82 years State College News Daily. I don't know what that's from. It does say Rathskeller though. College.
Ted Sanchez said, "Catalyst Santa Cruz, no door on the
Could be-
shitter. I knocked one out in front of everyone, circa 2007."
The Catalyst.
We've all seen those. I mean, God,
Catalyst.
those club. Yeah. There's like one stall and the door's been off for years, and
It
yeah,
got
you take your
blown off.
chances. If you really gotta take a shit, then you just hope people give you the respect.
Go
Look
outside.
Away. Look away.
Have some dignity. Just go outside in an alley.
When I was down in Mexico playing a show, you walk into the bathroom. It's just one room, and it has a toilet just in the center of the room, and that's it. There's no sink.
You're lucky they had a toilet. There was, I think it's in, I guess, in Asian countries, they just have a hole in the floor, right? You go to like, it's the eastern toilet or the western toilet. The eastern toilet is just a hole in the floor, and you squat over it.
Squatty potty.
And then the western toilet is a regular throne.
2 words: waffle stomp. Just go in the shower.
Well, if you don't have toilet paper, that's what you got to do.
Waffle stomp.
A lot of people doing that these days.
Great band name, by the way.
You just got to take the metal grate off your.
Well, that's the waffle.
Or don't.
That's the waffle part.
Probably one we were playing somewhere, and I want to say it was St. Louis. I can't remember the name of the club, but the bathroom door was broken this night. So it was cool at the time. This was like a short tour. We actually had a driver who was one of our buddies, but
was this like a dressing room or like just
no? The dressing room was another story. But he was cool. He actually, the door was broken, so the door wasn't off, but it just was wide open. If you closed it, there was no lock. If you close it, it swings right open.
Sure.
So he was like, "Dude, I'll just stand in front of it, and I won't look." So people are coming in and out. And he's standing in front of the door. He was a big dude, thank God. And I ripped one off, man. Had to do it. But that was a desperate measure.
Desperate times.
You can't go on stage having to drop a deuce.
Right.
So
you can't concentrate.
There's no lock on the upstairs bathroom door at the Rainbow. And a buddy of mine and his friend are engaging in a little bit of Bolivian marching powder ingesting. And I'm the guy that's got my foot against the door. So door, somebody tries to get in, open the door. I go, "Hang on, bro." Bang on the door again. I'm like, will you hang on? Somebody's in here. They're using it. He's like, "There are 4 stalls in there. Open the door." I'm like, all right. So I got my foot again. I finally, after like 3 or 4 times, this guy's banging on the door to open the door. I open the door like I'm going to drop this guy, and it's fucking Judd Nelson. And Judd Nelson looks at me. Judd Nelson looks at me and he goes, "Don't hit me, man. Don't hit me." So my buddies, we all come walking out of the bathroom, and we're all like doubled over laughing. My buddy Chris is on the payphone. This is how long ago it was. On the payphone at the top of the stairs at the Rainbow, right before you turn the corner. He's on the corner, and he just looks at me and goes, "Classic." So we get downstairs to the patio, and like 15 minutes later, my buddy Paul comes up to me and goes, "Heard you almost killed Judd Nelson in the bathroom." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, that word got around. By the time we got back to the hotel that night, it was like Judd Nelson and I were in a full-on Donnybrook in the upstairs bathroom at the Rainbow. But
of all the people.
But note to self, Mario was smart. He knew, don't put a lock on that door, because then nobody will ever get in. Hilarious moment for me. "Don't hit me, man."
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's my only LA Brushwood fame right there. That, and we're at a party at Sky Bar, and David Spade was there. Not really famous, but no, David Spade was there telling a story about how Harrison Ford had him bounced from the upstairs like VIP area. Like, if you've ever been to Sky Bar in LA, there's like a pool area, and then upstairs there's like a VIP separate area where like VIPs go. And I guess Harrison Ford had David Spade bounce. So we were trying to put together a posse to get into the VIP area to throw Harrison Ford in the pool. Our plan was thwarted soon after hatching it. We were escorted out.
But
you got anywhere near Ford.
Yeah, we got nowhere near him, but we did notice that Harrison Ford had an earring in his ear. That much we knew.
He was that hip for a while if he doesn't still.
Because he was hip.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why he had.
Who was he married to? He was married to that
It
model.
was Callista Flockhart.
Callista Flockhart, yeah.
Yeah.
Or not the model. She was in what was that show she had?
Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal. There you go. Classic.
I wonder why I had David Spade bounced out of there. Because he's not funny, maybe?
Don't know. Maybe that, and that was the same night that we were in. We were probably in that bar, or we were in the hotel lobby of the Beverly Hilton, and Brian Dunkelman walked in, and this was like a year or two after he had left because he didn't think American Idol was going to be anything, so he left the show. And I just heard from the other side of the bar, "Hey, who the hell let Dunkelman in?" That's emasculating.
You don't want to hear that as you're walking in.
Hey, Johnny's gone. We should all just leave right now. Just leave.
I'm still here.
Oh.
Well, have you seen the? I think it's a Domino's commercial where Norm comes in from Norm from Cheers comes in and everyone does, and they don't even really call any attention to the fact that it's an actual film of Norm from Cheers from back in the 80s. It's one of those put a guy from a scene in the 80s into a modern commercial, and it's just all he does is come in and says, I'm looking for my pizza or whatever, or I'm Norm or whatever, and they just don't even call any attention to it, and it's just like the rest of the commercial goes on, and then it's just like that was like a classic 1980s icon, and they don't even kind of acknowledge it. It just the commercial.
So they no sell it. They completely no sell it.
Yeah. No, exactly. The commercial goes on and he gets his pizza, and it's just that's it. The only thing is just this whole.
In other words, if you don't know,
there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing with Martin. What's his name from Karate Kid? In the commercial, now he's got the koala.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, what is who's the actor that played Norm?
George Wendt.
George Wendt. What does George Wendt get out of this? I mean, because obviously he doesn't own the film from Cheers that they're using or whatever.
Yeah, but you can't use the footage of somebody.
You have to license it from whoever owns the rights to it.
I don't know. I just found that kind of strange. Yeah,
is my father saw that commercial. We were watching when football was still on. A couple weeks ago, XFL or a month ago. That commercial came on. My dad, who sometimes surprises me. Well, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. He goes, "Holy shit, he still looks good."
Yeah.
He's like, "How old has he got to be now?" My dad.
Well, and you might have thought that too. You might have thought, well, that's George Wendt walking in, in modern day, because it could have been. But that's what I mean. It was just so downplayed that you wouldn't have known it unless you were. It was almost like an Easter egg,
Well, that's the same thing with, like I said, that I think it's a cell phone. I don't even know who it is, but the commercial for
they're doing it a lot nowadays, yeah.
And it's the guy from the Karate Kid, and it's certainly
that's right. Yes, I remember that.
It's an age thing. Yeah. It's certainly an age thing.
He looks the same. He looks the same almost.
A little older, but yeah.
Hold on. Two things are different though. One thing is that they didn't use like footage, old footage, and also Karate Kid. The Cobra Kai YouTube show.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it's modern, people were like, "Oh, yeah."
No, you're right.
But the whole
you're right because I've never watched that show.
But I only saw the first season.
Nobody has.
Really good. But the Norm, you're right, man. Like if you weren't a fan of Cheers, or not even a fan, because I think a lot of people back then knew that whole Norm thing.
Well, and the other Domino's commercial has Booger in it. The guy he's the pizza delivery guy.
Charles Lamar, sir.
Yeah, huh?
That's quick too, isn't it?
You what? It's quick.
Do I have to say this again? God damn it! I hear that too much. I don't want to say it too much either.
But yeah, it's just you wouldn't recognize it until he's just an extra in the commercial.
Yeah,
he doesn't. I don't even know if he says anything, but he just delivers the pizza, and it's
a quick cameo.
It's Booger. Yeah.
Yep. What do you want him to do? Like, like spit?
I don't know, but again, is it that he needs the work, or is it that they're using him because he's recognizable? That's what I'm kind of wondering.
It would have been great if he just handed the pizza and goes, "What the fuck is a frush?"
Seeing people that didn't see that movie 1,000 times
don't get that reference.
Maybe, John. Maybe somebody's throwing him a bone. Maybe one of the directors.
I think it's a little bit of both. It is a little bit of both. Like, oh yeah, that's the guy from.
I know what I'm saying is maybe he needs work so bad that somebody
Revenge of the
involved
Nerds.
either with Domino's or the team that filmed the commercials, like, hey,
But
Well,
he's still a working actor. He does voiceover for a lot of things. He does American Dad still. I think he does.
Oh yeah.
Different
You know what's interesting? That's what Tarantino does. That's why you see things like some of these guys in these Tarantino movies.
Pam Grier in
But he goes and he finds like these obscure. He brought Robert Carradine back, or David Carradine back from the dead. No pun intended.
Even John
Mancuda.
From
John
Pulp
Travolta.
Fiction. John Travolta, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what Tarantino does, is he finds these obscure actors, from the 70s and 80s TV
Kurt
shows
Russell.
and
Was it
pulls
Kurt
them
Russell?
out into his movies. Kurt Russell didn't need the exposure, but certainly some of the other guys in those movies come out of Tarantino's like list of B-level actors that he's trying to get exposure for again.
Oh.
That kind of need the work.
See, look, we don't even know this. We're talking about it like we know what the frig is going on. Mancuda says the Domino's commercial was referring to Risky Business, which Booger was in.
That's
Yes,
right.
he was
the
his
Risky
friend,
Business one. Yes.
So I don't think I've ever seen that movie because of the stupid that scene with him in his underwear. I was like, I don't want to see that movie.
But also, Tracy Lords was in that, right?
Booger was great as Charles DeMar in Better Off Dead.
There you go. That's right. Better Off Dead. Let's find the.
Yep, Charles DeMar, sir. And what's your name?
He was snorting. He was snorting.
This is pure snow.
This is pure snow. Exactly.
And of course, Len, I've been going to this school for 8.5 years. I'm no dummy. Yeah. Risky Business was great because Wally George's daughter was in it, Rebecca De Mornay.
Ooh.
And if you Google Wally George, you'll see where Morton Downey Jr. stole his entire shtick.
Thrash Metal says Booger is great as a voiceover in American Dad.
Yeah, I don't believe anybody said Tracy Lords was in Risky Business, did they? Did somebody say Tracy Lords was in Risky Business?
Didn't I just say that?
No. I said Wally George's daughter, Rebecca De Mornay.
Who said Tracy Lords then?
I don't know, but Mancuda's.
Okay.
Oh, was it John that said that? Oh.
2 minutes ago.
No.
I knew somebody.
Nobody was listening.
I know. I knew somebody said it.
Anyway.
Yeah, Rebecca De Mornay she had a 15-minute window that was fantastic.
Rebecca De Mornay. Is it De Mornay or De Mornay?
Who cares?
But her father was Wally George, who was a talk show host, cheesy talk show host before there was a Morton Downey Jr. or a Richard Bay show. Wally George was like supposed to be this conservative talk show host, horrible like white comb over hair and a powder blue blazer. Terrible TV show, hilarious to watch. But that was her dad.
Nice.
Quentin James says Tracy Lords took more shots to the face than most boxers.
Had her phone number
and
for a
she
while.
wasn't even 18.
Yeah, had her phone number for a while. A buddy of mine worked for Delta Airlines and got me a passenger manifesto that she was on and got me her phone number when I was doing radio in Memphis. Called her on her birthday. She was not amused.
Did you answer?
Yeah, she answered.
You called on the air?
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
She was pissed. Her birthday's like 2 or 3 days before mine.
What'd she say?
Don't call here again. How did you get this number?
What'd you say?
When was
Please
this?
don't call here
Recently?
again. No, this is in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah. Norma Kuzma.
is that her real name?
Yep.
Did you tell her she was on the air?
Yes. No.
You didn't get that far.
No, it's just
You're on the air.
No, she I learned her name, and right around the same time I learned Christy Canyon's real name, which is Melissa Bardis-Banian. Because my buddy went to high school with her.
Oh, my God.
Missy Bardis-Banian,
The name
who became Christy Canyon.
Well, yeah, they all have stage names.
Mancuda knows who that is.
Sure. Happy Straturday to go. Fucking Mancuda. Oh.
Uncomfortable silence.
Yeah, because we all want to.
What else?
What else is going on?
Where's Johnny? What's he doing? You still there, Johnny?
A million
Probably
things. You guys know that.
Yeah, a million things he's eaten. He's
Johnny's one of those guys that does that.
having a burrito.
He's got that great thing down. You know, they tell everybody you're supposed to eat like 9 small meals instead of big meals. Like you're supposed to eat like every couple hours. I think that's what John does. I think he eats like a bird. Like he eats a little meal and then he does something for a little while. Then he eats another meal. And
Yeah, what do they call it? Like a forage. He forages.
Who eats 9 meals a day?
that's what they tell you you're supposed to do. You're supposed to eat like intermittent meals.
2 meals a day.
Maybe
Pretty
you.
much. Yeah.
No breakfast. Just eat lunch and dinner.
They do that. That's how the intermittent fasting, they call it. You eat from between 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. You eat like protein in the middle of the day. Then you can eat vegetables all day long and then a protein at night.
Don't forget to face Mecca.
It's very hard nowadays with this, if I have this cookie business late at night, it's hard to not eat anything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Last night I ate 2 red Solo cups almost filled to the top with goldfish crackers. That wasn't enough. So I busted out some Colonel's popcorn and had another like half a bag of that shit. And I still wanted to eat. I was like, oh my God.
Well, everybody here in Arizona, and I'm sure it's not it's not common, it's not limited to Arizona, but obviously the hoarding has become ridiculous around the country. So everybody is panic buying. I have found that in my neighborhood, Hillshire Farms Polska kielbasa is not very popular. So when I go to the store and I see the shelves are bare, like I get out of work at like 10:30, depending on if we have to.
That's
do
good
stuff.
That kielbasa
Right.
is good stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I go to the store and the shelves are bare by 11 o'clock. Like you can't get any food except for over here in the bin with the smoked sausage and the Polska kielbasa. So I'm like, all right, I'll take 3 or 4 of those. Take 3 or 4 of those and some sub rolls, and because nobody eats sub rolls either apparently. And that's what I've been sort of living on for the past couple of days because you can't get food here. There's no food.
A 13-inch kielbasa.
You ever take a 13-inch kielbasa?
When you
Would you
did you ever work with a kielbasa?
You ever work for kielbasa? How about that, Ross Buckingham? You've done some summer stuff. I refuse to work with that man 1 minute more.
Such a great scene, man.
Ross Buckingham.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the problem is you eat the kielbasa and if you eat it with bread, you put on like 7 or 8 pounds. Like the biggest thing that's going to happen after this whole quarantine thing is over is everybody's going to have to join a gym because everyone's going to get fat.
Yeah, that's true. I can see. I just bought an ice cream for whatever a pint of ice cream.
Yeah,
so.
And you're bored, so you're boredom eating.
Yeah,
Since
first time this summer.
I had just joined a gym right before this whole thing.
And you're not allowed to go now.
And now
that's money well spent.
Closed down. But no, sorry I was gone, you guys. I happened to notice Ned walking out of the bathroom.
Oh no!
And I turned the light on, and there was a rat stomach sitting there on the carpet. So he grabbed a rat and ate it in the bathroom.
Man,
and
that cat
happening
eats
way
better than
too
some
often.
small nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're eating a kielbasa. Ned's eating intestines.
Jeez, I got ice cream.
Well, to be honest with you, Jay, Ned may have had the healthier part of the deal.
It's right. His farts won't smell as bad as yours.
Thankfully, I live alone, so it's good. And I can just blame the dog.
Ned farts.
Yeah, Ned's breath is horrible.
My cat's breath smells like cat food.
Dude, my cat is an inside cat. His breath's horrible. So.
Cat breath's the worst.
Yeah, it smells like
vomit,
seafood or meat and crap because they'll
because they constantly cough up hairball, so it smells like stomach bile.
Yeah,
so the cat comes
I've had
over.
a cat since I was a kid, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Rat breath, yeah, Quentin.
Nice job, Mancuda.
Yeah,
Mancuda comes in with the mic
just
drop.
waiting for that one. Oh, man.
That's why John likes the sausage.
But you're right. I mean, you go through the supermarkets these days, and yeah, it's the stuff that nobody wants. That's what I got. I got same thing, kielbasa, that like the beans and the hot dogs and the
yeah. Hope you like Goya.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
sleeping underneath the front door like the mailman's coming to the door, drop something off. Holy shit! What the hell is the smell of this front porch?
Yeah, the funny thing about it is, I and you guys know this. A couple of weeks ago, I went out and I just completely bought all the boxes of Tina's Red Hot Beef Burritos. The ones you get 3 for $1. So I've got a freezer full of those and kielbasa, and everybody wonders why I'm single.
There you go.
I looked those up after you talked about them last week.
What, the Tina's burritos?
Those burritos, yeah.
Everybody loves them. They're the worst thing for you. They're the worst food ever combined, ever put together. But 3 for $1, gotta have them. 45 seconds, flip it. 45 seconds, yum.
Man.
Do you leave it angled on the plate too, so it doesn't completely touch the whole burrito cannot touch all plate. It has to be angled.
The problem with that is after the first 45 seconds, it goes like that.
Well,
and then you flip it, and you try to beat it from not putting in 45 seconds, because if you put it in for 45 seconds, flip it, put it in for another 45 seconds, part of it explodes. So you try to beat it by putting it in for 42 seconds. No,
Are you microwaving that stuff? You can't microwave that stuff. Oh,
sure you can.
Oh no,
what's wrong with you?
That's
much.
That's what you do when you get it at 7-Eleven.
That's the point of it.
Supersized burritos. They're like this big.
Yeah, you get the big burrito
at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, if you're gonna eat a burrito,
it's mushed, but
later, like if you're gonna reheat a burrito, you got to put it in the oven or something.
John, hold on a second.
What is wrong with you?
If you're talking about,
you're thinking of a burro.
Dude, John, did you ever read the cooking instructions on like a burrito or a Hot Pocket or something like that?
Yeah,
cooking
a Hot Pocket, even a Hot Pocket.
Minutes. It's like 45.
Yeah.
Dude,
you got to plan ahead.
Cook a meal then.
You got to plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Do something else. Plan
a
ahead.
Hot Pocket
if you want something tasty
a Hot Pocket out of the oven though is better.
I bet it is, but
Definitely
what I'm saying is they're meant for like I don't have time right now, or I don't feel like making.
Yeah,
something.
well,
Hold on, Beane.
Hold on a second. If you're gonna spend,
I'm with Johnny. You gotta
waiting
put
for
them in the oven.
To be cooked. You might as well make something. You know what I mean?
Coming out of the oven, like a Hot Pocket coming out of the oven is better. Not that much better.
Yeah,
the outside,
crispy.
The breaded side is better. It's
you know what, guys?
They're
actually good. If you Hot Pocket out of the oven is
I'm gonna try. You know what?
Tasty treat.
I bought Hot Pockets at the store the other day.
Stuff.
I'm gonna cook one tomorrow in the friggin' oven, and I'll report back.
But the thing is, you got to microwave it first. Microwave it. Get it.
What?
It's a
what?
dual thing.
What is this? A gourmet 4-point meal? What are you doing?
If it's garnished with a little bit of mayonnaise.
If it's frozen and you're taking it out of the freezer, you can't just put it in the oven because it will take an hour and a half.
That's why you put it in the microwave.
Put it in the microwave for like 2 minutes.
That's why you eat
get the insides nice and thawed out, and then put it in the oven for like 30 minutes, and you're all set.
I might go make one right now just to spite all of you.
All right, Bet Rose.
If you're just really hungry, then you just throw it in the microwave for 10 minutes, and it's all set.
You got to make 2 of them to compare. I'll do that. I'll throw one in the oven, and then when it's done,
someone's got munchies.
I'm all about how do you guys reheat a piece of pizza?
Toaster.
Like if you're gonna.
Yeah, that you put in the oven.
That's like 8 minutes though, or 7 minutes. It's not 45 minutes.
That's
no, I know.
Toaster oven
yeah.
right there.
There you go. But the toaster oven is a great.
If pizza, if pizza took 45 minutes to reheat in an oven,
well, yeah,
I'd throw it out if I didn't need it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't save any.
But if you're making a Hot Pocket, you're usually going to make 2. You're not going to just make 1. You'll make 2. Throw it in the oven. Why not?
2 Hot Pockets?
Yeah, they're like a little bite-sized sandwich, aren't they? They're small. I haven't had a Hot
Pocket. Wait. You're telling about how to cook a Hot Pocket, and then you don't even know what the hell they are?
I haven't had one in years, but
you're making it seem like you're like the Hot Pocket connoisseur.
I haven't had one, but if I'm gonna make one, I'm gonna make it the right way.
I squoze it myself.
Man, we have just got the topics we've gone through this tonight.
Hey, this is what happens when you're self-quarantining.
Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton to
those
Hot
are the best
Pockets
ones right there. The pepperoni pizza, crispy crust. Those were
crispy crust.
Yeah.
There is nothing inside of that on that first Hot Pocket, which is premium pepperoni pizza. There's nothing about any of that is true. Nothing. It's not premium. There's no pepperoni, and that's not pizza. Look at that thing.
I said Nestle. They might make those in my town because Nestle has a factory in my town. So
there's nothing about that is the only thing that's true on the front of that package is it's hot when it comes out of the microwave. The rest of it.
Well,
And that's
that's
those
the
are
thing. If you make it in the
staged
microwave,
photos.
half the time
So those aren't even real
they're
anyway.
frozen in the middle.
It's like
Tell,
it's
tell
like
me you
rubber.
haven't pulled a hot pocket out of the microwave, scalding hot, but it's cold in the middle.
Well, then
Frozen still
somebody
in the
didn't
middle.
follow the directions.
Yeah, that's horrible. You got to
Yeah,
put it in that little
Sheet.
paper container.
Yeah, it's got to be in the cardboard thing, the crisper.
Yeah.
How about the one with the ham and the cheese? Oh man, I don't know about that. The egg, does that get like egg in it too?
Ham
and
and
cheddar.
cheddar.
The
I'm guessing.
pepperoni sounds good. I'll be
Just
honest,
what we
pepperoni
need.
sounds good
That's what
right
we
now.
need. 30% more cheese. 30.
4 cheese, three more cheeses.
Yeah.
Philly cheese steak. It's all about
Yeah.
the cheese.
I love the
hot
4
pockets, huh?
cheese pizza because 3 wasn't enough.
A hot pocket without cheese. Is there an actual hot pocket that does not have cheese in it?
Look at this. Look at this. As if a hot pocket isn't shitty for you.
Chicken,
as it is.
bacon,
Now
cheddar,
it's a
ranch.
drive-through menu version. It's even worse for you.
Yeah, because for people who are just too lazy to come into the hot pocket dining room, like, is there any place where you can walk and get a hot pocket on the menu? It's all drive-through.
I've never
Yeah,
seen those.
that's the one you make in the oven. Definitely.
I've
I
never
will
seen
drive-through
say
one?
Those
Like the
pictures
drive-through
look,
one, yeah.
look tasty.
God,
How
now
about the
I want
stromboli?
hot
Have a
pocket.
stromboli before?
Oh,
Stromboli, anyone?
Signature pepperoni pizza.
I love the crispy crust pizzeria because the rest of it is all soggy.
Well, I've never seen that one.
By the way, you know what hot
Johnny,
pockets are?
10 things you didn't know about hot pockets. We got to check that out. What didn't we know that what are we getting ourselves into here?
By the way, the last one that said that 10 thing we didn't know about hot pockets. The last pepperoni pizza one that he just showed said with reduced fat mozzarella cheese in it.
Low fat.
Because if you're eating hot pockets, you're concerned about your diet.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the 10 things you did not know about them?
I'm really excited to know. I got to get a beer in the meantime. I'm out. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna do a dog check. It's too quiet.
Fact number 7: they can end a marriage with how hot the gas is at night when you're laying in bed plotting. Oh, 10 foods you would only eat while hot.
Look at that guy. That's weird.
I'm assuming Hot Pockets is on those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I used to eat Hot Pockets. I haven't had them in years.
Well, I'll report back. I'll let you guys know.
Years and years and years. I don't even have a microwave. You know, when we first moved into this place, we hooked the microwave up and it blew the power out. So we haven't used it since. Let's see if I can find that. Now they're both gone. We should leave.
Yeah, we should.
We need, actually, you know what we need? You can still hear me. We need avatars. It's a circle though. If I could change my avatar to like a like my background. Oh my gosh. Shh. Are they back yet? Yeah, podcast. Oh, yeah, it's a podcast. I forgot. Crap. Can't do that with a podcast. Well, I guess I can edit it. Because I can actually... ew. Here you go, Jay. Jay, look at this.
What the hell? Hot Pocket and Pop Tart. That does not sound like anything I want to taste. It's got to be fake, right?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fake weird stuff.
But for some reason, I'd probably eat some of it.
I just had I finished dinner earlier and I'm starving now.
Shh, shh.
Oh, you didn't hear that, did you?
No, I missed it. Missed you guys talking about me.
You'll have to listen to the podcast.
Ooh, what are those? Whoa.
Pepperidge
Show those
Farm
again, please.
remembers. Tahoe.
Pepperidge Farm. What flavor? Macadamia nut?
Macadamia, white chocolate macadamia. Good stuff.
Oh man, you son of a! Now I got it.
Damn it.
I don't want to have to eat again tonight.
And then I get myself a cherry wheat. Nah, there won't be any of that.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what you guys. I mean, you guys are always talking about rough times after eating burritos and shit like that.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Never
If the first signs of this coronavirus
Carbona
was liquid craps and bad gas, I would swear that I have it because
shit.
for the last few days, my stomach.
You sure that's not your little boy there?
No.
Yeah, I was freaking out about my I had a like my breathing was weird for like a week. I was kind of freaking out about that, but then it was fine. I feel fine. I feel totally fine.
No, I feel fine.
But I'm not going out either. For the next 2 weeks, I'm staying right in here.
Pretty much.
I'm not leaving.
I don't like to leave the house anyway, so this is good for me. I'm all good with it.
Yeah, there's really nothing different. Really, you see all those memes on Facebook of musicians and shows the picture of like normally and then today, and it's the same picture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guy's still in his underwear.
Yep. I don't know. Just the best thing about this is I don't have to like think of excuses when Jeannie says, "Hey, do you want to go somewhere today?" I don't have to be like, "Well, I really," it's like now it's like shit, staying in.
Yeah. Or why didn't you? Except for, how come you didn't fold the laundry?
I've actually folded a little bit of laundry. It's probably one of my least favorite things to do is fold laundry.
Right.
Did you guys see? Are you guys friends with the Sean Salas on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
See the stuff he was posting about Police Academy,
dude.
I was watching that.
Yes, after I saw it, I went right to Amazon and tried to buy that on. And it's like if you want to buy it, it's like $20-something bucks still. I'm like, what?
There's the Johnny Beane live right now.
So what about the post?
Just literally 2 weeks ago, I was folding laundry watching that movie. Those same scenes he was screen capturing that he was posting. I'm like, I just saw that.
High Tower. Yo. Yo. Yo, sir. Man, that Captain Mauser, or he wasn't captain yet, but
Man, I love those movies. They were just such a classic. Yeah, I mean, they were on. And again, it's one of those movies that was on, if you had cable back in the 80s and 90s, it was on all the time on TBS or HBO or any of those. Oh, look at that. What was the 10 things we didn't know about Hot Pockets? Did I miss that?
I haven't looked yet. That actually looks pretty weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
The ham. I don't know about the ham.
Ugh.
I'm not a huge fan of the ham ones.
It's like they look like mouths.
Like the breakfast Hot Pockets. I don't know about eggs and that. Pepperoni and cheese, and that's good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. And,
so what was it? 10 things? Huh?
Mike as himself says, Jay, is your wife safe thinking about all hospital personnel and first responders? Yeah, we kind of, I don't want to say lucked out, but Mike, I don't know if you know, but we have a 2-week-old baby boy, so she's on maternity leave right now. So we're the 2 days we were at the hospital was virtually as soon as this thing was kind of starting up, when they were kind of worried about everything and starting to, freak out. So we were out of there kind of before all hell broke loose.
What date was he born?
On the 4th. The 4th or 5th?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, Jeannie's gonna beat me.
This website's awful.
Couldn't have held out till 3/16.
Yeah, well, shit.
No, that was one that just passed this
No,
week.
it's the 4th.
Happy
It was
birthday,
the 4th.
Wolf. We over the past week.
Mm-hmm. I said something about it. I was live
Yeah, I
doing
saw
like
it.
doing a
Yeah, I
test,
saw that.
and I said happy birthday to Wolfgang. But then I deleted the video because it was just a test.
So
Yeah,
he's
that
what,
that
30. No,
I think
29.
he's 29.
Yeah.
I'm still 29,
Right. Well,
and I remember when he was born.
that's right. It's strange, man. How does that happen?
But no, that website's awful, man. 10 things you didn't know about Hot
Yeah,
Pockets.
it's a clickbait.
It's
sure
awful.
clickbait.
It takes 20 minutes to open up, and it's nothing but there's just ads everywhere, and the text isn't even anything.
It's not that important.
It's terrible. I'm still looking at Kenny and Dolly on this other screen here. Yeah. Rest in peace, Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, yeah.
I saw that.
I mean, growing up in the 80s, he was huge in the 80s. My God. I mean, Kenny Rogers, I mean, and I wasn't even a country fan, but he was just all over everything in the 80s. I mean, him and Dolly were huge. And Dolly was just huge anyway.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I thought he was old then.
Right.
And I'm probably older now than he was then.
Well,
which is scary.
Well, Lionel Richie was the one who brought back, who well, I don't want to say brought back, but like reignited his career.
Kenny Rogers' career?
Yeah, from what I remember, I remember reading this years ago, probably like in the early 2000s or something, that Kenny Rogers was like, I need a friggin' hit, you know.
Oh, did he write for him? Or
he wrote what, once, twice, three times? He wrote like three times a lady.
Okay, sure.
And another song he wrote like
lady,
I know he wrote at least two hits.
Lady.
Yeah, and
sing it.
Lady. That's all I know is lady. There was so many. Well, once, twice, three times, lady was the Commodores, I think, right? And then
here it is.
So what songs did he write for him?
Lady was a song that Kenny Rogers sang that was just lady. Da, 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 da. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's a good song too, man.
Right.
Kenny Rogers embarked on a long and successful solo career, which included several successful collaborations, including duets with Dolly Parton, Sheena Easton. That's the only Kenny Rogers song I have in my iPod. Is the one with him.
Which one
and Sheena,
is that?
The one with him and Sheena Easton. Something tonight.
Take it out tonight. Is she going to put out tonight?
That's the only one. That's the only song of his that I have.
Too tight.
But it says he had a songwriting partnership with Lionel Richie.
There you go.
Some Ted Sanchez brings up Big Lebowski. What was he on? Did he have a song on the Big Lebowski soundtrack? Great movie, by the way.
What year was that? I'm right down in there.
Lebowski was 95, I think. 96.
I never saw that movie.
Who won the bet?
God, Lebowski's great.
I bet you didn't cook it in the oven.
Is that
You'll be down there for another 3 hours waiting for it.
No, see, I told you it splits right open. By the way, just to show you what kind of a scumbag I am, I just spent the past 10 minutes cleaning up dog puke and then made a burrito that looks exactly like dog puke.
Yeah, pretty much.
No sour cream, dude?
Dude.
Is that spicy?
Yeah.
Is that cooked?
Oh, those are good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is
I
it
know.
thoroughly cooked all the way through?
Yes, John. It's thoroughly cooked all the way through.
Man.
I can't say that it's food.
I still would have preheated the oven, sat back for a half hour, relaxed, and had a nice crunchy burrito or a nice well-cooked burrito.
You have the difference. See, crunchy is not a burrito. Crunchy is a burro.
Well, I don't know, man.
And here's
crunchy is a taquito.
It's about getting the whole thing up to the proper temperature slowly and like
chimichangas are crunchy.
It's back to the.
It's already cooked. Those things are already cooked. So you're just heating it up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, my problem with waiting 45 minutes for something to cook is that you finish them in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
It's not worth. It's
Yeah.
not worth the time put into making
If
it.
you just want the energy from the food, then I can understand. Like that's why you eat like a granola bar or
He's
something.
done.
You know what
Yeah.
you do though?
4
Put
bites.
the burrito put the burrito in the oven before you're hungry.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty much what I'm
that's
saying.
What you were saying?
Wait,
Yeah,
how do you know you're hungry?
it's what I do after this show every Saturday. It's like when I show you those chicken fingers and stuff. It's like I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'll preheat the oven at like 4:00 or maybe 3:30,
4 o'clock. He has the
AM.
oven going
and I'll be
all
ready
day.
to eat by 5.
Damn.
You know, I'll be ready to eat by
Preheat the
5
oven.
and go to bed at 5:30 on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
Damn.
Free-
Right?
Straturday.
That's kind of my thing.
And then you wake up.
Or
for
sometimes
school.
it's not even the chicken fingers. Sometimes it'll be a burrito or something like that. And I'll
You
sleep till like
said you
2
haven't
or
had one in a long time.
3. Anyway,
yeah.
man, this show has gone off the rails tonight.
Don't you judge me.
It's all good, Paul. I mean, I've been there, man. It's tough
They are
times
just
for
air
all of
fryers.
us.
Air fryers are awesome, man. We cook
I need to get one of those.
our tater tots or crispy crowns in an air fryer. Oh my god.
Dane, look at this, man.
Oh, look at you.
Zim's guitars.
Now he's gonna give you something free.
Yeah, the shirt.
Oh, all right. Did he give you that shirt free?
At NAM, at one of our dinners with Mancuda.
I don't have a
He
I don't
gave
have
me
a
the
Zim's
shirt.
guitar shirt, and I live down the street from him.
Well, it's easy for you to get one.
No, it's not.
Oh.
He didn't give
Can't
me
go
one of his
outside.
yo-yos either.
He doesn't like you.
Yeah, I know. I don't like you either.
I watched being cooped up. I've gone through my share of Star Wars. I watched Rogue One the other day, and Rogue One, they have the cameo from those "he doesn't like you" people.
That's a good
Tatooine.
topic. Since we're all under house arrest, basically. what films
Bye, Jay.
or what movies have
The
you watched,
Mandalorian.
or what are you watching? What are you binge watching? For me, it's just doing these live shows. I'm the one
Yeah.
sitting here.
I watched the last season of Ray Donovan. Finally caught up on that, and I have just started watching Watchmen, which I didn't watch when it came
I mean,
out.
there's so many series I haven't even.
That looks
kind of
good.
explored.
I haven't seen that either, but yeah.
Well, Watchmen
a
is
lot of
interesting. Watchmen is confusing. The first episode is very confusing, but I expect that there'll be one of those oh wow moments like there was. Remember the first season of True Detective that Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey were in, and it was a great show. Unfortunately, it was followed up by 2 other seasons of True Detective, which were garbage. But the first couple of episodes, I'm choking on my burrito. Now I sound like Javi Firestein. The first couple of episodes of True Detective were awful. And then like episode 4, they're interviewing Matthew McConaughey and he blurts out this line and it goes, "Ah!" and you're in. So I'm kind of hoping that that's what happens with Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
I like McConaughey. I didn't even know he had a series. What is that on?
True Detective, it was HBO. You should be able to get it on
HBO?
HBO demand. On demand, yeah.
Hey.
If you have HBO, I don't have HBO.
That's because you're too busy baking burritos.
Basic.
Making hot
I
pockets.
spend all my time making reheating meals that I have to.
Well, that's a great.
Don't have time for it.
If you don't ever want to do something with somebody, man, I gotta preheat the oven for 45 minutes. before I get the top out.
I'm having a hot pocket in 3 hours.
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Oh,
I gotta get home. I'm having a hot pocket in 3 hours. Oh, or how about like a chicken pot pie? Those things take a long time
Those
too.
things take 3 hours.
You got to do those in the oven.
yeah. Those,
That's what I'm talking about. Come on.
what you do in that situation, though, is you bake a couple of baked potatoes. You take the baked potato out, you put some butter and salt and pepper on it, smash it down with a fork. Smash it down so you have the flat baked potato. Then you take the 2 pot pies and serve them over the top of the baked potato.
That sounds good. That actually.
I think it's gained 5 pounds just from listening to that.
Yeah, but that's
I do the egg noodles. I get like a pot pie with egg noodles. Good.
When you grow up poor, You learn how to make the best of everything. You will get some instant mashed potatoes. Just add some milk, some water. Whip those pigs up. Throw them on the table. Throw some pot pies. Morton's pot pies, 2 for $1.
That's how healthy those are.
Morton's, that's right. Those are the
Yeah.
ones, man.
Morton.
Oh goodness. What were we talking?
Welcome to Food Talk.
We were off of food for a little bit, but then we went. Where do we go?
We were talking
I
about
came back with the
Kenny
burrito.
Rogers and then pot pies or
There you go.
pocket pies.
Are we going to talk about guitars at all tonight?
No.
Ted Sanchez brings up watching Live Without a Net, you guys. By the way, thanks. By the way, thank you, Ted Sanchez, for watching us and for watching Live Without a Net. Thank you.
Which is more entertaining?
I did watch. I posted to you guys in the messenger earlier. I was watching the '91. What the heck was it? Florida.
Orlando?
Live in Florida. No, it was Miami actually. Good show on YouTube. Van Halen live in '91, Florida, Miami.
Good quality.
It is good quality. The audio was actually really good. You can watch. There's so many bootleg shows on there, but you watch a show like Montreal where the audio is the video is good, but the audio is really bad. Or the earlier stuff, Memphis and stuff like that.
That was always the bummer because years before YouTube, I used to buy all those Van Halen bootlegs on VHS tapes.
Me too. Yeah,
you'd order them, you get them or whatever, and then well, this is even before trading. This was years ago. I would buy it, and then you put it in, and the second you play it and it sucks, you're like, like it's distorted. You can't see anything. It's like, but you still watch it.
I could get by with bad video, but bad audio I can't stand.
There was a place in Cambridge, Massachusetts called Second Coming Records. It's on Mass Ave, just before you get to Harvard Square.
It wasn't Welfare. No, there was another one in downtown Boston that had all
Nuggets.
Nuggets
had them. But Second Coming Records, you could go through their video section, and they actually had a TV and a VCR, and you could make them fast forward at like a half hour.
A good place would have that.
Yeah, so that you could fast forward at like 30 minutes and then hit play to see that if the quality was still good before you gave them $25 for the VHS.
Yeah, I used to go to record swap meets at the college in San Francisco. Like every so many Sundays, they would have those. And there was a guy with a huge table of VHS tapes, and he would put it in and let you watch a little bit of it before you handed him the $25.
Yeah, at the Hampton Beach, they used to have.
Any reputable bootleg shop will do that.
Yep. But you're right. I mean, but then you get there were so many that were just so terrible.
No, but they knew that like if it was a bootleg shop, and they knew they weren't going to burn you because they knew you were going to be a repeat customer, and you'd tell all your friends. Like they couldn't advertise that they
were
had
expensive
bootlegs.
too. If you knew you were getting a good bootleg, you were paying $30 in the 90s. 30 to $50 anyway. If you were going to get it in the mail, you were going to pay. Yeah, I mean between $30 and $50 for a concert.
When I lived in Memphis, there
plus
was
shipping.
Place called Replay Records in Memphis, and the guy that ran it, Stan, I don't think they're there anymore, but he used to have he would have his CD racks, like you can see the racks behind me. That would be like all of his music, and then the back rack would be all of his imports. So Dave Matthews is in town, and you can see where I'm going with this. Somebody from the Dave Matthews Band walked in, saw the back import section, and called the police on this record store because there was a Dave Matthews bootleg in the bracket in the box there, and apparently that was a common thing that he did. Was like he would look for that. Meanwhile, on the other side of that, the bootleg shop that I used to go to in New Orleans called Magic Bus, it was run by 2 gay Englishmen named Lippy and Chris. Jimmy Page would go in there because he's got a kid that lives in New Orleans. Jimmy Page would go in there and buy bootlegs from them. So you had both sides of the coin. You had Dave Matthews, who would call the authorities on you, and Jimmy Page, who would pay you a lot of money if you had good bootlegs of Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that stuff has been ruined by the internet because obviously you can just go anywhere and download it.
Yeah,
so even
Jimmy Page.
Go ahead.
No, I mean Jimmy Page would actually, send in the early internet days, he sent messages out to the fans.
Right.
If you have a good, and he wanted that stuff so he could compile it and actually.
Well, that's where some of the video
officially.
came from for that DVD.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Lippy and Chris are the two guys that ran Magic Bus. That was the best record store in New Orleans. It was right on the edge of the French Quarter. Fantastic shop. I mean, and record stores, we have a pretty good one here. There's like 3 or 4 of them in Phoenix, and then there's one in Tucson, and then in Vegas. It's called Zia Records, ZIA. And it was funny. We were talking about this during the show this week about how Def Leppard is putting out a box set of their early stuff from like 79 to 81 when Pete Willis was still in the band and before they got Phil Collin. And that was back when they were still sort of a raw, new wave of British heavy metal band. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want to go pick up the Def Leppard box set until Tuesday. All the record stores in town closed because of coronavirus. And everybody's like, well, why don't you just order it on Amazon? I'm like, that's not the point. Like, you're obviously not somebody that goes to record stores and goes through, thumbs through everything to find cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing about the self-quarantine that sucks. You can't go to the guitar shop, can't go to the record shop, just kind of have to sit here.
Yeah, anything that's not necessary is closed.
Yeah, I'm running out of excuses to not practice guitar.
Oh man, yeah, I used to go to record shops all the time. We have
you
some
have a great
amazing
one in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
you got Amoeba.
We have 2 Amoebas.
Yeah,
we got San Francisco, Berkeley, and then Hollywood has the other one.
Yeah, I know the Hollywood down in Southern California, but I'm talking about in the Bay Area. You're closer to the Bay Area than you are Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they used record stores? What are they?
It's both. New and used, but dude, it's
like a Bull Moose or Newbury Comics, kind of in this area.
Yeah, if you watched Lemmy, the movie Lemmy, the first 5 minutes of that movie is him walking into the Amoeba record store in Hollywood.
Yeah. I recognize the name Amoeba. Yeah, I do recognize the name.
Great record store.
But so somebody said Tower Records. Tower Records was all new stuff, wasn't it always? Or did they do used eventually? I'm probably at the tail end.
Most places had a used section, but Tower was new. And Tower, when I used to go to Tower in Berkeley, you would mainly go there for like for the newsstand. That's where they had all the magazines and newspapers.
Get Kerrang and stuff like that. Yeah.
I shouldn't say somebody. I should say Robin Sellers said that. I'd say somebody in the chat. Robin Sellers said that. I always liked being called out in the chat. It was always good,
I think the one in Sacramento that I used to go, was it called Blimpie? Was it Blimpie Records? I think it was Blimpie.
In where? Sacramento? I know there was one called Dimples.
No, Dimple. That's it. Dimple. Yeah, Dimple Records. It's gone now.
Mr. Whipple?
Yeah, Dimple Records was pretty good. Then there was Cat's Music in Kansas City. I used to go to that one.
That's Amoeba.
There's
Records.
Amoeba. Yeah.
That's Amoeba.
Amoeba's awesome. It's like going to Costco for records.
It looks like that's the one in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It just, it looks like a flea market almost because it's, just nothing, they just put everything out there and just let you, go through it. I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's all alphabetized and
it
has all the sections and stuff, but that's
right. But it's, it's just tons of records and tons of CDs, whatever it may be. I love those kind of shops. And I've been, flea markets are great for that kind of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one here in town, the Zia Records now, as the resurgence of vinyl comes back, where people are paying $40 for records that we paid $4.99 for back in the day. Their CD section is getting smaller and smaller and smaller now. They're starting to load up on vinyl again, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, you may as well just get it on CD. I mean, you can go through that argument for days, but anything that's the vinyl versus CD kind of argument. I was just watching something earlier with that, and
there's a lot of older stuff on vinyl that's not on CD.
But that obviously, if you can't get it on one format or the other, you're gonna pick what you can get it on. But
I have so much
CDs can reproduce that audio spectrum just as well.
I'm at that point now where, like, I years ago, I think I told this story probably once on the show, almost got rid of all my CDs. And I got, I don't know, somewhere around 3,000. In fact, while we're doing this, I am compressing some of my CDs down so I can put everything down onto an MP3 player that I can Bluetooth to every stereo in my house. That's like it's a Sony MP3 player with a flash card in it. That will, yeah. I got the boo for it. I got the boo.
Who did that?
I got the boo. But all of that stuff, I'm compressing it down so that I can basically Bluetooth it into my truck or whatever I need to do. But I almost got rid of all my CDs back when the iPod first came out, and then I realized iPod's brick, and I've got so much stuff that's out of print that you can't replace that I'll never get rid of CDs now. So that's the worst part of when I move. The worst part of when I move is there's like 26, 28 boxes that weigh like 50 pounds with CDs in them.
Well, that's the best. That's a great thing about CDs too, is you can digitize them and really get a one-to-one from what you've got on the plastic, disc to your computer or whatever. And I mean, and you can get you really can get high quality audio. I mean, people say it is digitized and you're missing part of the audio waveform and that kind of thing. But
well, you can hear it.
You could. It depends on how it's recorded.
You can hear the difference between like a vinyl and a CD. I mean, but can you hear the digital in a CD? Can you hear like the digital, kind of waveform?
Not like an MP3.
An MP3, exactly. Like on an MP3, you can hear it clearly, the digital compression and that kind of thing. But
I can totally tell a difference in the MP3.
Absolutely, but on between a CD and something,
the levels
analog
of like when I do these podcasts, I do them at 128. I think I do them at 128. I think
128 is normal human spectrum. Unless you're really, really listening hard, like you've got headphones on, you won't really hear the digital stutter behind it. The little signal it's like a high pitched whine that runs through the entire
is pretty high. It's pretty high for. I mean,
that's what you want. That's what
if
you
you're
want.
Going to master something, sure, you're going to put it in the highest.
Yeah, and I pay when I do the podcast. I pay to do the unlimited, so I can put as much as I want, up there. Well, how long is this?
Is the highest spectrum.
A 3-hour show podcast at 128 is pretty big.
That's a large file. Sure.
128 is fine, but if you're doing music, it's got to be 320.
320.
Mm-hmm.
320 and maybe 256 really if you want to try to attempt to compress it, but
no,
the difference between 256 and 320 when you're talking about music versus the loss of fidelity versus the gaining of hard drive space isn't worth the compression.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about like I know CDs are 44,000. What is it?
44,1. 44,1.
16-bit.
So you're talking about 300, like
320K.
So far beyond like a CD quality.
No, way below.
Far below.
Okay.
The best quality you could get at the time was that at 48K.
Right.
And so then CDs are 44.1. So what you do is you get 44.1 gets compressed down to 16-bit 320K.
Okay.
So you still lose. You lose a ton of spectrum.
So
Jay, if human ear shouldn't hear it.
If you're outputting a final mix to something, what would you put it out to?
When we do look at that.
Yeah, there you go, Dad.
It's unopened. I've never opened it. It's been sitting here for years.
When
I've got my reel-to-reel over there.
If I'm mixing or something for a band, when we're doing like reference mixes and test mixes,
I want one of those, Paul.
That'll play this?
Yeah.
Take that back in time to early 90s.
No, what I was gonna say is when we're doing like test mixes or reference mixes, stuff like that, we'll send MP3s. But when it's the final mix, like, okay, that's the final mix. Obviously, everything's going to be wave, full quality. And the cool thing with vinyl, like when you're mastering something with vinyl, you can do 2448, which is like that's the highest, like, as far
24-bit 48K. 48K.
Yep. But CD, obviously, 4416 or 44.116. But yeah, all the streaming platforms, you're doing, 16-bit 320.
And for voice, to be honest with you, if you're doing a voice podcast, it can be 8-bit 64 and you're fine. You're going to hear a little bit of noise in the background, but
It'll sound like it's on the goddamn radio.
Yeah, it'll sound like AM radio.
Yeah.
But if it's just a talk podcast or something like that, and you're talking about hard drive space, we've sacrificed fidelity for portability. I mean, anybody that's listening
the
to
audio
something on their phone,
consumer audio quality has gone down so much in the past 50 years. I mean, think about it. A consumer format was not only vinyl but even quarter-inch and stuff like that in the 60s and 70s, and now and think about what you could get out of a quarter-inch tape, the fidelity out of that.
I can't even listen to iPod earbuds. They're useless. The sound quality
sounds terrible.
It's unbearable. And I was on an airplane a couple of years ago, and I put them in, and I couldn't even hear. I had the thing cranked all the way up, and I couldn't hear them.
That's the way I am. You got to have the over-the-ear stuff. I mean, John would kind of have the over-the-ear.
Yeah, I have some of those Bose frames, which are sunglasses with audio in them, and they sound pretty good, all things considered, because it's Bose. But any earbud or anything that you put in your ears, I don't know. I don't even like these. These AKGs are good for music mixing, but like if you're on the air or you've got a microphone and you turn them like that, you'll get, if the microphone is open too wide, you'll get a ton of feedback. The Sony MDR V6s are the best headphones. I think those are what you're wearing.
7506, I think.
Yeah, the MDR V6 is what it was originally called. Now it's a 7506.
That's what I love these. I've had these. Is like a fourth pair that I've had of these.
Best headphones I've ever owned.
Yeah, and they're cheap. I mean, $100 for these.
Yeah, $99 over at Guitar Center or whatever.
Absolutely great headphones.
And they're lifetime warranted if something goes wrong with them.
AKG, you said?
No, the
Sony 7506.
Sony 7506. These are AKG 240s. These are old studio monitors.
Sennheiser.
But
Sennheiser's the other, big name in headphones.
HD 650 thin.
That's the next stage up, pretty much. The Sennheiser stuff is, the high quality. Yeah, that's what I would get if I was going to upgrade. But I don't know.
And to me, the RE20 with 7506s is a good studio setup. And then whatever onboard effects you want to use for compression or stuff like that. But you can get pretty much anything you want out of one of these, and with a decent set of monitors. Although we talked about this before, I use Bose 201 bookshelf speakers for my monitors in my studio.
Blows.
I paid $29 for them at Zia Records. They were originally like $600 speakers back in the day.
I paid $600 for my 301s.
Yeah, they were like $600 speakers back in the day. $29.95 at Zia Records.
I still like them. I haven't had them hooked up for probably 5 years, but they're still good speakers. But yeah, it's the scientific,
I'm going down.
Loudspeaker design. Yeah, I can see that, Jay.
Well, it doesn't help that I've been getting 4 and 5 hours of sleep for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations everybody in the chat. If you didn't know, Jay is now a father again.
Yes, congratulations to everyone in the chat because Jay's
No, I think everyone in the chat should congratulate Jay.
That's right. Yes, we said that. Yeah, you haven't been around for a couple weeks, but last week, yeah. Congratulations, Jay. Good stuff.
I appreciate that.
I mean, all he did was have sex.
Yeah, I mean, well,
yeah.
But he has a trophy out of it.
Sometimes good things come from that.
Trophy. It just took 9 months to freaking get.
Well, it was on order.
Yeah.
I sit there and wait for a hot pocket. And
9 month hot pocket.
That's what it is. Oh crap! Hey, stay healthy if you're, everybody stay healthy.
Yeah. It's really weird right now. What we're doing here is what everybody else is learning how to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. When we were saying earlier, that's this is kind of normal for us. But yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. Chilling out, watching movies and, chatting online.
Somebody in the chat, somebody watching this, make a meme of this and do those memes like I was talking about earlier on Facebook, how people say, us, normally, and then us in quarantine, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
It's
Half
gotta
of
be
us
like-
have
Never mind, man.
half of us have an excuse. The other half are just losers. We'll let you figure out which is which.
Well, Paul, you're still. I mean, you're still. Are you going into the studio daily, or
Oh yeah, no,
are you working from home?
No, I can, but we're actually working in the studio. It's funny you mentioned that. Our company, and by the way, just by show of hands, how many people are getting emails from companies telling you their response to COVID-19 that you don't even deal with, like Reverb and
Every other email is every other
yeah.
email.
Some company that, like your cell phone company.
When
Like,
you
I
log
give a
onto YouTube, you log onto YouTube and it says, "Do you want to know about the latest?"
I think Jimmy
COVID-19
John's sent me an email about that.
stuff?
Yeah, it's like
And I
people that you're
wouldn't,
not
I
gonna
wouldn't
deal
go there
with.
anymore anyway.
Look,
See, the bank, my bank
Best
did the same.
Buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Best
They
Buy.
do.
Like
dude, why?
I got-
what?
I got
You're
one from
absolutely right, yeah.
I got one from Sweetwater. I'm like, you guys are in friggin' like Minneapolis or Fort Wayne, Indiana. Like, what do I care what you guys are doing to COVID? It's not going to come that far.
I got one from Guitar Center saying that they're going to stay open.
Well,
But they're changing their hours.
we are going back and forth to the studio. Mark and I are both in relatively good health and aren't really concerned too much about it. Our building has been fairly locked down. The only people that have been going in and out have been the on-air people. All the engineers and everybody like that, they're all working remotely unless there's an emergency situation. We found out Friday, the vice president of our company is setting up home studio stuff or opportunities for people who are uncomfortable being in the environment. I'm thinking I'm safer in my building than I am anywhere else. You know, I drive from my house where all I have is the dogs to the building, which is all locked down, to back here. So we're doing our show live from the studio. We've still been doing it, and we get a lot of feedback from people that are really happy that we're kind of being as normal as you can be during all this nonsense. You know, it's a weird time, but you know, people. This is an opportunity for radio to do really good things. If you're good at what you do, you'll be rewarded later on down the line. The horrible thing about it is the last time radio was quote unquote this important to people was 9/11. You can't do what we do. Radio was the first social network. This is where people would interact. They call the person on the radio. You know, when Cliff died in the bus, when Skinner went down, you know, in the plane, they called your radio station first. You can't get, unless you're doing what we do here, you can't get that immediate sort of connection with people on the internet by typing. So yeah, we're doing our show live, and it's a little on the weird side. But you know, we'll get through it all. It's just weird to see the streets empty in a major city.
Yeah,
Best, isn't it?
it's kind of
It's awesome.
Sometimes. Yeah.
It's probably almost like doing it like reversed hours. It's like you're doing an overnight show during the day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
there's
and
nobody there.
Metal Mike's like, it's not nonsense. I'm not saying that the virus is nonsense. What I'm saying is all of the stuff that's going down in the panic and the things that are happening, some of it is a little bit over the top. And
who cares if you
and
thought
that
it
keeps
was
us
nonsense?
safety.
Who cares?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Who cares if you feel like that? Then who cares? That's your opinion.
No, I don't look. I don't think anything is nonsense when people are dying. There's nothing funny about that at all. You know, I would hope. Oh, my dog is making the I'm going to puke sign.
Smiling.
Your dogs. It seems like they're always throwing up.
Well, it's spring. It's springtime, so they've got rain and they've been licking puddles and eating grass
And Hot Pockets.
and hot pockets. So he's going to go in the bedroom. He's going to go in the bedroom and puke now. Fuck.
I gotta say hi to Brett Roseman. He's been chatting throughout all of this. He's got a couple of questions.
It's Bent
for us.
Bent Rossum.
I think I was calling him Brent forever, kid.
Sorry.
Until yesterday's show, I finally saw it. It said Bent. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I
You
just
calling
been
him Brent?
glancing back and forth at the chat,
Awesome.
and he's got 100 of them. So
It would
let's
be
just see what
awesome
he was saying.
if his name really was Brent, and when he was putting in his screen name, he fucked it up, and
Yeah, there you go.
Now it's locked in.
Got the domain.
But he did
Yeah,
have a
Tom.
question.
Yeah, it's Tom.
Is
I
it
just
Tom?
added you on Facebook, didn't I?
Is that who our friend Bent is? Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he
it's
he
Tom
changed his
Harhide.
name.
Oh, okay, Tom Harhide. Thank you, Tom. I remember Tom. What's your I think he was asking Paul, what's your background prior to being on radio?
Failed musician, and I've done a bunch of other stupid jobs like we all have.
That's right.
But yeah, band thing, and then radio was the backup plan.
I got to split, boys. I got to give the baby a bottle. I'm already tired, so this is gonna suck ass.
Baby looks up at Jay and says, "Give me a bottle of anything."
To go.
And a glazed donut.
And a pair of jugs to go.
No, Jay, those are for the baby.
Dude, I'm dying. I'm like, oh my God. Give them to me.
Thanks, Bent. Bent's like, I was curious because you seem extremely intelligent. Well, you can fake it. You're halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've faked doing this for years.
Yeah.
He didn't realize he was hitting the record button every time. Son of a, I got to keep going now.
Oh man, we're live.
We're what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All right, Jay,
I hope everybody has a great, I guess, Sunday, and don't do anything stupid and crazy out there.
No, it's all good, Bent. I appreciate it. Yeah, Jay, take care. Congratulations again. I'm going to take a second to go do a vomit check.
Okay.
Johnny, have a good one. John, have a good one.
Take care, Jay.
And I'll report to you guys tomorrow about my
Hot
Hot
Pocket.
Pocket. I was going to say Hot Pocket experience.
my Hot Pocket.
You got to film it. Make a video out. Make a
I'll do
video.
a time lapse.
Oh, what happened?
Is that Ace?
What happened? What did he do?
I think Ace just hit the.
He hit the desk and it moved the camera.
Oh, wouldn't it have been funny if it panned over and Paul was like scooping out his underwear because he's sitting there.
Oh.
Good thing he bought 75 rolls of toilet paper.
This is my icon.
Yeah.
Scooping out his box.
Oh man, do that off camera.
I was doing that earlier, but you couldn't see me.
Well, yeah, but you didn't have to tell us.
Everybody will be going back. All right, hey guys, we got to find out at the exact moment where Paul shit his pants. You know, oops face in like the middle of saying something like, oop, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hello,
Hey,
this is Simon Williams.
Simon.
My goodness.
Yeah. Make a video though, man, of the Hot Pocket experiment.
Experiment
What are
extravagant.
you said you're gonna put it in the oven for the first time, like
No, here's what
do it the right way.
I'll do. Here's what
Well, I know it's not the first time, but yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'll put one in the microwave or one in the oven for 3 minutes and one in the microwave for 45 minutes and see which
Yeah, I
one.
want to see which one you think is better. But I'm telling you, if you're
and
gonna
then
put one in the oven,
You already did. They just had it. You got to start the microwave one, 3 minutes before the other one's done.
ready to go. Yeah.
Here's the problem with that though. If this might be the dumbest thing anybody's ever said on the internet, but I'm thinking something in the oven, that thing's going to be hot for like 45 minutes. It's going to take as long to cool off as it did to cook it, as opposed to the microwave one.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that's why you got to do the combination. You got to thaw it out in the microwave, and then thaw it out, and then bake it for.
All right, so if I'm going to have it for lunch tomorrow, I better preheat the oven
You
now.
better get to bed now.
Are we talking about food again?
Yeah, his Hot Pocket.
Oh crap!
And I'll
adventures.
put it in the microwave for 45 minutes instead.
There you go.
Burn the house down.
Soup. You'll just have Hot Pocket soup.
Wait, it
Or
tastes the
Hot
soup.
Pocket fire.
It'll taste the same. What are you talking
Oh
about?
my goodness.
It's
He
all
said,
fake.
waiter, taste the soup.
It'll taste the same. It's all fake.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Have a good one.
See you, Jay.
See you, Jay.
And I'll see everybody next Friday. Oh, we're gonna have Cameron Brown on next Friday, man.
Oh,
because his new single comes out.
Cameron.
It drops.
Yeah.
New single drops next week.
Awesome.
Back.
All right, everybody.
Back. See you, Jay.
Good night, man.
Okay.
Yeah, your dog moved your camera.
How did he move my camera?
Like right after you left, was he under the desk or is there's like a dog bed right there? Yeah, he
there is.
bumped
He was
bumped
up on the
desk.
counter and he was like playing with the mouse and kind of like moving it.
Did he get up on the counter?
No. It's like he got up and bumped the desk and the camera like tilted a little bit.
He will do that. He was probably trying to go after what was ever on this plate, which has been empty. So he's looking at me like I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh,
What nice.
Good boy.
Good. Yeah.
He's a good dog. Hi, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
I love you too. I love you too. You've been puking all day. Don't kiss me.
Oh.
Ooh.
He hasn't been puking all day. He just puked twice, and I don't know why, but I'm guessing, like I said, they had something called Giardia this week, which is a parasite that you get from water, from drinking stagnant water. I'm guessing they were drinking out of one of the puddles, something like that. Plus, I've been burning weeds for the past week. I went and bought one of those torches, like the long brass torches that you buy from Home Depot. You put a propane tank on it and just burn your weeds. That's what I've been doing.
Really?
I'd rather do that than spray them with chemicals.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Everybody sounds like they're starting to peter out a little bit.
Hey, it's
2:30.
2:39.
We still got 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes. I can.
Oh, we can do whatever. Whatever. No, it's just I haven't. I need this.
There you go.
And it's just water.
No, I'll probably tap out shortly too because of the dogs. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. When the dogs make this face, if bad things are about to happen.
Yeah, Howie used to have like we called it puke face. It was like a smile.
Oh,
it's like
no.
you can look over and he's smiling. He's like,
yeah,
and then
you
the tongue comes out.
You just know. Yeah,
yeah.
Pet pets. I know what that is.
And you can see the neck. The neck starts to crane forward a little bit. You're like, oh boy. Yeah, they start shrugging their shoulders. Yeah. Gonna puke.
Oh,
there you go, buddy.
Goodness.
Break out your Peters.
Come on, buddy. Please don't.
Mancuda's still hanging out there.
Good boy.
Break out your Peters. Yeah.
I don't think he's got anything left in his stomach to get sick, so now it'll just be water. And he still wants to play. He's like, other than puking, I'm good. Right, buddy? Yeah, he's fine. Dogs are dogs. Dogs puke like cats puke up hairballs.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Of course, me punching him in the head's probably not helping either. Giving him a concussion.
Oh man. As I said earlier, so a bunch of tours started on this date back in the 70s and 80s. Back in 79, they started their world tour. Van Halen started their world tour in Selland Arena.
Oh, that was today?
Yeah, well, 25th. Sorry, that's coming up this week, 25th.
In Fresno!
Right. In 80, they were playing the Lane County Fairgrounds in Eugene, Oregon.
Oh.
Another tour opener, 1980. And in 84, they were playing the Philadelphia Spectrum for the third night. So this, March was always a big kind of a concert time, almost the beginning of the summer touring season, but bands would tour from March well into the summer a lot of times.
Well, that's why they do it, because it's springtime now and they can get some of the arenas in the warm parts of the country for a decent price before it gets too big up. That's like Kiss. When Kiss plays here in Phoenix, you can guarantee it's going to be in July or August. You can guarantee that Kiss will play here in July or August because they can get the outdoor amphitheater. They can get that cheap money.
Makes sense.
Instead of having to pay for an indoor arena,
right?
They go to the outdoor arena
for season, sort of.
Yeah, and summertime is off season here. It sucks outside. 115 degrees underneath one of those steel canopies.
Oh, it's hot.
So
And
yeah,
the band doesn't give a rat's ass. They're in the air-conditioned trailer until they walk
Right.
out on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Phoenix is so hot.
Yeah, it gets damn hot here.
Very. Yeah.
It's like the desert.
Renus
It is the
Pinkle asked if Lemmy is a coyote. She might be. I don't know. They're rescues, so she might have some coyote in her. I don't know. She's got some German Shepherd in her, but she could have coyote in her. I don't know. If she is, she's the fattest coyote I've ever seen.
Good looking girl there.
Yeah, she's a good dog. They're both rescues, so I have no idea how old they are.
William De Silva says he's 2 blocks away from the Lane County Fairgrounds. So yeah, apparently Van Halen opened their 1980 tour at that Lane County Fairgrounds on today, the 22nd.
Santa Cruz 3600 asked if we still own our first guitar. I do. I still have my first guitar. I'm thankful I got it back.
Yeah, we had that conversation
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
No, I don't have my first.
I do, but it's the body is like on the floor over there, and then the neck is on another body, but
Yeah.
in the loft.
Yeah, the body of I had a Harmony Strat copy, and the body was chopped up, painted first, chopped up later, replaced with a body I made in shop class, and I kept the neck. So I had the neck from the Harmony and the shop body. And then I don't know what happened to the neck years.
I was shocked to see that Nesdal took the neck off that Gem VBK for a Gem GMC project and was selling the body from the Gem VBK. The idea that, like, to me, the idea that anybody would split a Gem that isn't a piece of junk Indonesian one seems like sacrilege. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do that, buy one of the Indonesian ones and mule the neck off that. But to get rid of an actual Gem VBK, a late 80s, that's one of the first. That's the first Gem that had a rosewood neck on it, rosewood fretboard on it. To see that Nesdal did that, I almost cried.
I missed that. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, he had I think it was an 89 or a 90 VBK. For those that know about gems, that's the first Gem that has a rosewood fretboard, and he's apparently got a swirl project that he's doing, which is a GMC swirl Gem that he's having somebody swirl for him. He's going to put that VBK neck on it, and I almost cried. I'm like, oh, you can't do that. That'd be like having like a 54 Strat and taking the neck off of it to mule onto another body.
Not exactly, but
you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
It's a classic guitar that you're pulling apart.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to break apart a project for a project like that. Yeah.
So, ouch. So that might I'm thinking maybe I'm going to put some decent pickups in that Epiphone someday, but I never do.
Well, it's like practicing guitar. I'm thinking I should probably practice now.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I can play it, then I'll worry about how it sounds.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got time now to do a lot of that.
And here you are.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I was thinking, I should do some video editing. I've got some projects that I've been working on for. I got my old film from my college days that I wanted to re-edit and stuff like that, but just don't get around to it. I know, but now I have the time, so we'll see.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm.
All those projects you couldn't get to, now you have time for it, and nobody wants to do it. I'll build that 5150 stage out of actual wood.
There you go.
We'll see.
Sit.
But yeah.
Good boy.
I know everything's kind of just limbo nowadays. It seems like this past, at least the later half of this week has been kind of limbo. It's just like, you're used to the routine of kind of doing nothing, sitting, watching Netflix and that kind of stuff. And then
every day is a Sunday now.
Yeah.
For some of us.
You're waiting for excuse me, you're waiting for the news and the next thing that's going to happen. Like, what's the next, what's our next step? What's the next thing that's going to close down, or what's the next? For me, at the beginning of the week, I think we had 1 week off of school. And then by the end of the week, by the middle of the week, we were 3 weeks out of school. And then now it's sounding like people are talking about
You're not going back.
Not going back till the fall. So
no, they're already trying to figure out a way to put together standardized testing so they can figure out what grade to put the kids in, to see if they can, put some sort of a test at the beginning of the year. If they get to a certain level, they can move ahead. And if they don't, they have to repeat the year.
Right. Yeah. Because the kids, we're putting assignments online and everything like that. And I can't imagine the kids are, taking much time to do any of that stuff.
That's like when you used to get the summer reading list. Remember that? They give you a bunch of, read these 4 books before September.
You come back in September and just like, okay, we're going to do our summer reading reports. Yeah. What? I didn't do anything.
No, we'll be back on the air on Monday, and but it's mostly, we're mostly doing stuff about what are you doing during the virus.
Yeah, and small groups like you. Obviously, a couple people in the studio isn't a big deal, and you can. For the most part, I go out and I'll go, shopping every couple of days, and I'll go, I'll get takeout, with that, or go to my parents or something like that. That's about it.
How do you feel about? Well, myself. I'm a germaphobe, regardless.
Oh, are you?
I always have been.
But that's so weird that you're a germaphobe, yet you have that cat that brings all vermin in on a regular basis.
That's different. That's all organic.
I've learned how to deal with that. Yeah.
But that's, like that's got to be difficult for you when you see a disemboweled, rat or a rodent in your house. Do you break out like the ammonia and spray the floor and like?
Yeah, if it's on the floor, I use bleach and stuff. Yeah, that reminds me. Thanks for reminding me. I still have to. I threw the rug out the front door there that had the stomach on it.
Oh man, how do you know it was the stomach?
It's just it's a little gray, little like
could be the liver,
kidney bean looking thing.
Well, I'm sure
it's something. It's something.
Johnny has become intimately acquainted with the anatomy of rodents now.
Yeah, and that's all new to me.
What are you doing, buddy?
But no, as far as eating, I guess a lot of people, have to do this. Myself, will run to the store, totally stock up. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere for the next couple of weeks. I'll be right here, But we're not.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can know when Johnny goes live.
Yes,
which is a lot.
Which is a lot, and will probably be more.
I was going to say, Johnny, you kind of only adhered to your schedule over the past week. I was expecting a little more, to be honest.
I know. I was thinking I would do more stuff. I will do more.
I'm sure it'll come. Yeah.
More rocking out, on here. No, but so we cook. There's a kitchen right over there. If you guys you can't really see it, but. So we cook our own dinners and stuff. I'd be freaked out to go to a restaurant, even if it was just takeout.
I've been cooking a lot more, but I did takeout tonight, and I've probably gone to like 2 different takeout places over the past week. So
here's the reason why you should do takeout as much as you can. A, you're keeping people employed and supporting a local business. And B, you're not eating your own food stock, your own.
And I've got a whole fridge stock too. So
see, I haven't been able to do that because when I go to work, it's 3:30 in the morning, and by the time I get out, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. So the stores have been open, and by the time I get there at 11 o'clock, the shelves are picked bare, and then they restock them at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And people are getting out of work, so it's like you have to go in and sort of fight people to get where you want to go. So I've actually been going to multiple stores and like buying eggs at one store, salad at another store, meat at a third store. It's like you have to go to multiple stores just to get one actual shopping order done.
And so what? That's a small compromise. We can deal with that, and hopefully it doesn't get beyond that. And I think if people are smart, it won't get beyond that.
I'm not sour about having to sit in the house and sort of take the 15 or 30 days or whatever the self-isolation thing is going to be. I'm just sour at the amount of panic and just abject greed that you see people sort of. I mean, I watch people like almost fight to get to the meat counter before somebody's slower and older than you. It's like,
Sure.
dude, we're not going to run out of food.
Yeah. Well, and I was watching.
It isn't malaria.
I follow Les Stroud, who is the Survivor Man. He was on Discovery Channel and did all those Survivor Man stuff, and on YouTube, and he's been posting a lot lately. And he did kind of a whole survey of different supermarkets, starting with like the Whole Foods, the organic stuff, and then going all the way like Walmart and stuff like that. And Walmart was like cleared out, like people panicked in Walmart, but then you go to Whole Foods and everything's there.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay for
restocked. Everything's fine. I mean, and it's just like, it kind of breaks down like, the different, social classes, I guess, that are panicking, and the different people who are, it's in my neighborhood, they've had everything for the most part. The paper products have been out. They really haven't had paper products for a couple days anyway. But
I got the stink eye at a Home Depot when I went to go get that torch so I could do the weeding, the flame weeding in my yard.
I got a torch.
That was awesome. I went to Home Depot on a Sunday morning. It's like 7:00 on Sunday morning, and I knew that I was in trouble when I saw a line of women at the front door of Home Depot on a Sunday morning at 7:00.
Oh yeah.
I knew at that moment that they had figured out that Home Depot sells paper products.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking too. Is like you go to the local convenience store, like, and I mean, see if the places that you wouldn't normally go to get that kind of product. But
so I get there, and I grab what I need, and then I just happen to walk past the bin where the toilet paper is, and I was at DEFCON 3. I had 3 rolls left in my house. Now 3 rolls.
That's DEFCON 3. Man, I've got like 2 rolls, and I've got I'm sitting pretty. I'm fine for a month.
I've got dogs that throw up a lot.
Right. I guess, yeah.
So I and that's the thing. Like a roll of toilet paper for me that lived by myself. One roll of toilet paper will go 2-3 weeks.
Sure.
Like I'm not, unless I'm eating too many of these burritos.
I would hope.
So I go, and the bin is being cleared out. There are 2 guys there with those orange flats that you can get at Home Depot, and they're just loading up with toilet paper. So I walk right in the middle of them, and you would have thought I walked onto their job site. The way they looked at me, they were like, "Who the hell do you think you are?" And I grabbed my 1 package of 24 rolls of toilet paper, which, by the way, let's do the math. I just told you that'll
last you a good 6 months.
9 months.
9 months. There you go.
If a roll of toilet paper lasts me, let's say 2 weeks, but it's usually closer to 3, maybe a month.
Sure.
But let's say that roll of toilet paper lasts me 2 weeks. 24 rolls, 48 weeks. That's a normal thing. Now let's knock it down to 36 weeks just for the hell of it. That's still 9 months.
Dire times.
And these people are grabbing 3, 4, 5 rolls, 5 packages of 24.
Yeah, that's not the stuff that you should be hoarding. I mean, that's easily accessible.
It's not a digestive virus, so it's not like you're going to be in the bathroom an inordinate amount of time. People are jerks. They're just jerks. We're not going to run out of food. Food is not an issue in the United States of America. We have plenty of food. The problem is we have too many people who can't afford to eat. That's the problem.
Sure.
But food is not an issue. Watching people, and then I go to the supermarket and I see a guy. He's got like 3 carriages full of like 19 packages of Huggies.
Wow.
And he's looking at other people like, oh, can't believe these people are panicking. So ridiculous. So look, everybody should. And do we really in 2020? Do we really need instructions on how to wash our hands? Because if we do, we're dead as a species.
I think you'd be surprised that the people who neglected to do that. It is not only common courtesy, but for your own health. But it's like,
why?
I see it all the time. Yeah, just
we're not gonna run out of food. Be nice to each other, and you know what? All the stupid little aggravating things that we deal with every day, that jerk you work with, traffic. All those things, remember how you feel right now while you're missing all of those stupid things. And remember to put everything that's perfect in its proper perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not that difficult. you can be nice to each other. You don't have to be greedy, and you don't have to be a jerk. And you see a lot of people being greedy and jerks. Now, that said, you also see a lot of people doing great things for other people. Like I watched a guy do shopping for an old lady. Like this old woman walked in to the supermarket, and she looked around and she was like, oh my God, she was overwhelmed by the amount of activity that was going on. A guy walked over and says, ma'am, what do you need? And she had her little list on a piece of paper. He took the list. He said, wait right here. And he walked through the store and did her order for him. Solid human being.
Do something. Yeah, do something for someone else.
I thought that was awesome. I thought that was like I sat back and thought that is a humbling experience. That's a guy who was raised right and has his priorities straight.
Yeah,
I thought that was awesome.
Help.
So I was pretty stoked to see that.
Help.
That's very cool.
And with that, we're almost at midnight.
Almost. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, no, we started early.
Well, yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, we're at 3.
I know we started late. What?
No, we started early. Really late.
I don't know. We started earlier, but it was still late.
Uh,
We started late, but it was early.
According, yeah. What time would you like us to start, folks? Okay. Would you rather early or I don't know. Metal Mike's getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
I'm just tired of the preaching.
Ned.
Oh, no. Look at this. He always wants to. He wants to sit in my lap. That's all he wants now.
Well, let him.
He'll come. He'll be. Well,
Hey,
come here. All right, come here.
Oh, Ned.
Come here.
easy, buddy. You all right?
It's like,
You go outside?
fine. We'll sit on the table.
Oh, yeah. That's all he wants to do.
Can you see Ace's head on the edge? Watch, he's looks
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
got watch the cocking of the head, like he's got hiccups.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tongue too. Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
I
I have a dog situation. I'll see you
It's
later.
it's like heartburn or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Paul,
All
take
right.
care.
See you,
Be
Paul.
Bye bye. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, look at this. Look at this. This is what he does.
What's wrong with that? That's good, man.
Oh no,
I got-
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just he ate that rat. And
Oh
so
yeah, well that's true. Yeah.
his
I guess
breath
you- I guess you-
isn't the best.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, Ned,
Oh,
he's just trying to provide for the family.
He's so cool. This guy.
He's so
Oh,
chill.
yeah,
Man. He just doesn't even
got the
care.
rat
I mean,
breath.
oh man. He's just chilling. Just Ned.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Man.
Rat breath. Yeah. I discovered a rat guts in the bathroom earlier.
Oh man.
Like he brought something in and ate it and then left.
The Proco rat. Yeah, a friend of mine was just. I saw a couple of friends of mine last week, and a friend of mine builds pedals for. For fun. I mean, he wants to build me. He's going to build me a rat copy. The Proco rat. the
Yeah.
plastic
I've got one. I've got one
distortion
of those.
pedal. Yeah.
I have one. I currently don't have it on my board because I've used what was I using? I was using a couple other things.
I have the Boss DS1. That's the go-to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess. There's like the Tube Screamer, the Boss, the Proco, the different standard distortion pedals.
See,
Yeah.
look at
Ned.
this. Look at this guy.
And he never had owners before you, right? Like he never had.
He did, but he found them. They found him in a bush.
Right, so he was always kind of a loner, like stray kind of thing.
So he's wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
But
wild cat.
it's kind of because cats and human. It's not like dogs and humans who like automatically bond. You gotta kind of really bond with a cat, or else they're just gonna do their own thing.
Yeah, you can't see him. I wish
I can see him.
you can sort of see him there. Yeah, see, he's just sitting here.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's
He just sits
so
here.
yeah. They have
He
that.
just sits here, and then he'll snuggle into my arm.
Yeah,
Is what he'll do. But yeah, he's just
he knows. He
Yeah,
knows
look at this.
it's
Look at this.
safe. Like
Look at this.
he probably spent a lot of time out in the wild, and now he knows like it's safe to be in this place with this being this thing that feeds me.
Mhm. Well, he feeds himself, but yeah, we feed him.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, he goes out though. Like at night, we let him out. He's got
Yeah, well, and that's the way a cat. I mean,
a little cat door.
I could have a cat here, and I've always liked cats because they're cool pets, but I wouldn't want an indoor cat. So I live in a condo, so I don't, and on a main street, so I don't really want to. I don't.
Yeah,
it just wouldn't be the right place for him, And I grew up kind of in the country. I mean,
Oh, a cat
in the suburbs anyway. So it was like
a cat in the country is that's how it should
they
be.
have they have a huge territory. They've got
They need to be out there. Yeah, and that's what he does. That's what he does at night. He goes out and then
yeah, that's the way it should be.
And then he's in here and then. But he has access to the garage though, so he can always come back in. And then we'll shut the door, and then at 5:30 in the morning we set an alarm, and then we make sure he's inside because we keep him in during the day.
Yeah,
he was in here during the day, and then he's out at night, and he just sleeps.
Yeah.
Like that's a cat bed. He sleeps in that bed
because they're kind of nocturnal, so they do their hunting and they do their business at night, and they party at night, and then they sleep all day, up all night, sleep all day, right?
Yeah. Yes. So where are we?
I think we're good.
We're over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, what is it? There you go.
Everyone, cheers.
There
Stay
you go.
healthy, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Old school Irish goodbye. Is that what you guys want? Well, we got to at least say our stuff before we do that. Again, this is a podcast. And I wrote it down so I can remember. On Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, if they ever get back to me. That's where we want to be. You guys have been watching this on YouTube and Facebook. We had a lot of new faces from Facebook tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. And
don't forget to click the bell so we know when Johnny's going live.
Click the bell. Well, that's the there's a double-edged thing to click on the bell.
Oh,
see what can happen. Good night, John. See you Tuesday, man. What can happen? Everybody says, "Hey, click the bell." You'll get an alert when we upload new videos, go live. The thing with that is, if you go live too much, the bell's always going off. They're always getting the notifications. And they're like, this guy again,
right?
Or people, let's say, that have been subscribed to you for a long time, and then like forgot, or like they just happened to open up their account, and all of a sudden there's all these, who's this,
Right.
So clicking the bell isn't always the best thing. But definitely, if you're if you're a fan of this stuff.
Yeah, we'll tune in Tuesday with our friend John Mancuda, who will be talking about 80s metal and the latest rock news. That kind of
thing. Yeah, there's some of that we didn't even get to tonight. We can save till Tuesday.
I know. Yeah, I have a whole list too that I was thinking of stuff that we could talk about. But anyway, there'll be plenty of time. Staying indoors and
we talked about hot pockets.
Oh my God!
And a hot pocket. Let's just keep going. A hot pocket in the oven is better.
Thank you.
Way better than the microwave.
You just got to plan ahead. That's all.
It's almost two different qualities of hot pocket.
It really is.
Leave a thumbs up if you don't agree.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow the real deal when if Jay does the test, and we'll see if the
hot pocket test
he prefers the oven baked. But anyway,
yeah. Hey, Biggles,
Mr. Bigglesworth,
Biggles. I remember that name from a long time ago, right? Have you been watching this for like years?
I don't know if I know Biggles. But I know Fender Guru. I know Metal Soda. I know Hugh Caldwell.
Yeah.
And the rest.
Everybody. Thank you so much for watching.
That's right. Thank you.
Or listening.
Mancuda was out there. Renus, Settlemeyer.
Watching for 5 years. Yeah. Well, welcome back, man. There's a lot of people who the thing is, when you do these shows, you see a lot of people come and go. Like
I know,
Simon
I
Williams.
always
There you are.
Recognize the name. Yeah, different names.
Simon, you know this. Go back and watch, one of these videos from like 4 or 5 years ago. You'll see all different names in the chat. You'll see totally different names.
Right. No, and then I know the people who were, kind of like the main, people who were always on there when I first started watching, like Bozique and R2R3 and, everybody that, the OGs. That's, I guess, the OGs. Fender Guru.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, thanks for watching tonight, and tune in for new live shows during the week with Johnny. I knew I was going to do that wrong. Johnny.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll do something tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
well.
Monday. I'll do something Monday. I'll play some guitar for you guys. Actually, I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
What? Oh, they want an Irish goodbye. Where's that thing at? Yeah, like this. This is something that I did. All original, so we don't get in trouble. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Oh no, I can hear you. I got to get these buttons right.
Come on.
It's an Irish goodbye, man.
That's right. I don't. What? How do we do that?
Oh.